Hello, everyone. My name is Matty. You're listening to the No Nerds Were Harmed podcast. It's a podcast about movies, comics, games, and all things nerdy. I am here with my co-host, Tyler. I'm also here with my wife, Sam. She is our producer. She's hanging out with us. She is, when we don't know the answer to something or we're like, fuck, I can't remember, we're going to shout out to Sam and be like, hey, can you look this up for us? So she's here hanging out.
Yeah, or she'll tell us, move on from the fucking topic. You're taking way too long.
Let it go.
Yes. But like I said, I'm here with Tyler. Tyler, what do we got for everyone today?
We're talking Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Stephen Strange.
Multiverse of Madness. This is exciting. We got nerd news for you guys. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to have a spoiler-free section. We're also going to have a spoiler-filled section. We're going to rank the movie. We're going to talk about some read, play, watch, what we were reading, what we're playing, what we're watching. Then we're going to tell you what we're doing on the next episode. So we're going to start this off with our nerd news. What do you got first for me, Tyler?
I have some news about Fast X, the new Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so director Justin Lin leaves the project. Rumor is it was arguments with Vin Diesel that caused it. So, at first, I believe it was reported as creative differences.
Yeah.
And then a lot of articles came out how it was very weird because Justin Lin has always kind of been attached and has always kind of had the scripts and produced all of kind of...
Yeah. He directed 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9.
That's what I'm saying. He's so integrated into the Fast and Furious universe and building it up to what it is today that to say now, like, I creative differences on, like, the ending Big Bang, what they kind of assume,
Yeah.
is kind of a fancy way to just cover up the real problem. So it got called out real quickly, and then I believe it came forward where he kind of bit the bullet, was like, yeah, me and Vin Diesel just...
It was like a day or two later, too.
Yeah.
That he was like, it's Vin.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty crazy. That sucks because I'm not a big fan of the franchise, but I know that it is successful. So I don't.
A lot of people love it. Like, a lot of people,
absolutely.
and I agree. I loved like the first 3 of them, and then as the more and more it got like crazy, like James Bond type shit, the more and more I kind of fell out of it. I loved the like true like street racing, like hooligan, mini bank robber type bullshit. But the fan base is huge, and the amount of like cast that's involved and how fucking long this has gone on is kind of incredible. So it is kind of sad, and they're gonna keep doing the movie, you know. So they got a new guy to replace him.
I can't remember who they got.
It's Andrew. Oh, there we go. Producer, First Movement.
Sam, who's directing the new Fast
There's the
10.
first one. So we'll get that back to you of who's doing the Fast 10. I want to say he has something to do with cars.
Louis Leterrier.
Yes.
Did you look up his IMDb? What else has he done?
I think he has something to do with cars. Like he's a big car guy.
Like the movie Cars?
No.
Like
Oh, like
okay.
like he's like a like
fuck, he did Pixar?
No. It's Owen Wilson, dude.
He did 2008 Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
He did Now You See Me, Clash of the Titans.
Now you see me.
Okay. So, I mean, he's got some whatever.
Okay.
Those are
He can mess around with some CGI with Clash
Correct.
of
Like
Titans,
that's the same. But like I said, I want to say I read an article that said he's like a big car enthusiast. So
Okay.
that helps.
Nice. Maybe he'll bring that element back to the movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Another part of Fast 10 is that Brie Larson was cast in it, and I'm excited for that because I like Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Fucking Oscar-winning actress, so I'm excited to see that. Another piece that I have, I don't want to step on your toes of one of these, but
No, you're good.
John Watts, he's the director of the first 3 these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and he was set to direct Fantastic Four, and he dropped out. Do you know why he dropped out of those?
No, creative things? Is that what it said? Creative,
He said that he wanted to step away from comic book movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he said he wants, and I believe Kevin Feige also said, I'm looking forward to working with him in the future. So he's leaving on good terms. He basically pulled a Tom DeLonge, and he's like, I want to spend some time with my family. I want to step away from making movies for a minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, he made 3 fucking Spider-Man movies. I know, godly amount of money. I'm sure that like he can chill. He's good.
So Kevin Feige's like, yeah, we're gonna work with him in the future.
That's perfectly okay, and that's him also recognizing I don't want to get into another 10-year franchise.
Yeah,
you know, like you go from Spider-Man, you go into Fantastic Four. If it's successful, which hopefully you make a successful rendition of Fantastic Four, it's another 3 movies, man.
Yeah.
It's so I respect that.
Yeah, way to go for him. I'm looking forward to. I look forward to him to have.
Have
a
they
fucking
replaced
vacation.
him? I don't think they've replaced him yet.
Not yet, it says.
They have not.
All right.
I'll hit my second one because I know I have more news than you.
Yeah,
do.
go for it.
So the Jurassic World trailer is my next piece, and I know that you've been excited for Jurassic World.
I'm a huge Jurassic
Yeah.
Park guy, so I'll defend Jurassic World and
Yeah.
everything about Jurassic Park dinosaur related till I die. So it's like I love it. I'm excited. I'm ready. It's ridiculous, but as long as there's dinosaurs and there's people getting eaten, I'm showing up.
and they show that in the fucking trailer. This new trailer, you
Which
see that
means
dude
that's not going to be the only fucker that gets eaten. You don't
Yeah.
show that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't show the guy getting eaten on the toilet in the trailer back in the 90s. It's going to be scary.
This is the first trailer for the movie that actually got me excited. So the first one came out, and I've told you this, that I was like, okay, this is all right, I guess. And then the second one came out, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of more into this. And then when they said this third one was coming out, I knew I was gonna see it, but not because I actually was engaged in it. It was more
Right.
because I'm like, okay, I want to see how this ends.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until this latest trailer that came out that I was like, holy shit, I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait for it. I want to buy my tickets as soon as they say tickets are available. So I'm fucking down. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, no, it's you see the trailer and I always was very excited of, okay, we're going to see dinosaurs amongst real people, real animals, real things. Like that's terrifying. When you break that down to actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like people are scared to run into a bear while you're camping. Think about running into a fucking T-Rex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's terrifying. So I've been so excited for that element, and then like they add the like Owen wants to save Baby Blue, and it's so dumb in a way, but in the trailer they even recognize like that's a dumb thing, and he's like, yeah. So it's like, okay, if they're gonna
He's like,
recognize
what of it?
this
What
is
of it?
dumb, then like we can play along with it. And if that's what they're gonna use to drive the story, but really this is just about fucking dinosaurs running rampant in 2020 society, sign me the fuck up.
Yes, it looks badass. I'm stoked for it. We're going to cover that at the beginning of June, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Correct. I have a piece of nerd news of Aquaman 2 related. Amber Heard rumored to have less than 10 minutes of screen time. And the petition's still going to get her removed entirely from the movie. Which has a
crazy.
lot of steam going on it too. And it's not looking good for her in the public eye and everything. So
No.
it's interesting that it's already confirmed, like that she is, or rumored, I guess, that there's 10 minutes of screen time, because it's like you knew she was supposed to be a huge character in the second one. You could feel it. You could feel it. You can feel it. You know where the story's going and everything like that. Like to have 10 minutes in a probably 2-hour movie easy is tough. So they're already taking efforts to get rid of that, kind of reduce the damage on that, but like I said, there's still a petition going strong to get her out completely, which if they actually pull it off, that would be crazy.
Because how do you take it? I'm sure she had at least 1 or 2 scenes that were probably integral to the plot.
Oh, that's why there's 10 minutes left of her in that movie right
Yeah.
now. I guarantee you. So that's, again, it's either going to cost you for refilming, or it costs you by keeping it in and rolling the dice of people not showing up and actually paying to see your movie. So it costs you in the sense of like dollars in the long run.
I
You know
think
what
people
mean?
are still
So
like, I'm
it's
am
tough.
I going to pay to see it in theaters? Probably not.
No, I probably
But-
won't either.
Not because of her, because
No.
I wasn't really a big fan of the franchise to begin with.
No,
so-
but it would be crazy to see a studio pull a huge big dick power move like that and like cut her ass out completely.
It would
like
be.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be like sending kind of a big message
Oh,
of
yeah.
like if like we don't give a shit, we will, like, you fuck up at that level or do this or that, like we'll cut you out. You don't get
Yeah.
that, like, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but like I said, that's rumored right now that it's not looking good for her in Aquaman 2 at all.
No, it does not
So.
look good for her.
In general.
Another piece I have is that the Stranger Things trailer came out, and that comes out May 27th, so this month. And I'm stoked for it. It looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's
It's trippy to see them like growing up.
Yeah.
Like, I think like because I always remember my mom saying that about like kids on TV and shit like that on series and stuff growing up. But when you grow up, you don't really realize it because you're
Yeah.
kind of growing up with them. But now since I was older when they were real young, you know, and you see it, you're like, God damn, like it's weird seeing these fucking kids like in high school, arguably. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I
all
mean,
that
this
shit.
is season 4, and I feel like when they first started, I mean, in a technicality, you know, we usually get a season a year, but because of the fucking pandemic and everything, things were pushed off. So
Right.
technically, there was like 6-7 years ago is when they actually started. Or, no, not 7, but like 5-6 years ago they actually started this thing. So it's been a while. They've grown up. I mean, they're all fucking 18 now, 19. So it's cool to see. But
Millie
The-
Bobby Brown just turned 18.
yeah, Millie Bobby Brown just turned 18, and
wild.
2016 first season.
2016 was the first season. Yeah.
So 6 years.
So I mean,
Yeah,
it's exciting. The
6,
fucking
7 years.
the visuals for this show looks cool, and I'm super stoked for this first half, which, like I said, airs May 27th. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
we'll be covering that later on after the second part comes out.
Yeah, we'll probably cover it once it's completed.
once it's all done. Yeah. So
yeah.
July, I believe, is when is what it's set for. Mm-hmm. Another piece I have. So Moon Knight just finished this week. And it was released a couple weeks ago, actually, that Moon Knight was going to be a limited series as well as Hawkeye. So limited series means, for some people who don't know, limited series is that it's only getting one season. They're giving you this season of the show, and that's it. They just want to tell this short story, kind of like WandaVision. WandaVision is a limited series. You only get one season, that's it. So they said that Moon Knight and Hawkeye were the same way. So some people were upset about that. This week, because this week was the last episode of Moon Knight, they actually posted on Monday. They said, check out the series finale on Wednesday. And then 2 hours later, they took down the tweet. And they retweeted it with saying the season finale. So some people are speculating that it's actually... Fucking Mike, what are you doing? Some people are speculating that it's actually going to be a second season, which I'm not necessarily excited about because I wasn't a big fan of the series. However, Sam did like the series, so she wants some more. I could do without it though.
It's
Yeah.
intriguing. It's just something completely new that we know nothing about, and it's refreshing. So,
Yeah. No, I have not. Admittedly, I've not gotten into Moonlight yet. I plan on watching it.
Yeah.
I like to wait till everything comes out and then I'll binge watch it.
Okay.
Or watch it in a couple. Exactly. And now I can. So like I look forward to looking into that. But I also think like, dude, like Disney's so smart with marketing. That could be their fucking ploy to like get you to watch more. I don't know who knows why they do what they do. I don't trust them fully either way, but it's working. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I always have an eye open on Disney because you never know.
It's like that. Have you seen that? I think it's Curb Your Enthusiasm meme where he's like, "Fuck you, I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
Like that's how you feel with Disney.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. It is.
I don't trust him, but
No,
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
exactly.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Wants to start his own wrestling promotion, and he has apparently he has the backers and funds for 3.5 years, of worth of promotions. His shows he wants to run. He could have it up and running. He thinks in 18 months. He would have they would be about 2-hour shows, and he wants to heavily integrate like SAG actors and not SAG actors as far as like movie stars, but like he wants to get the SAG performance union involved with stunt guys and that kind of stuff and kind of revamp wrestling. And he says that he's been approached by a bunch of like music people and athletes and actors and a bunch of people that have like really shown interest because he's been a super fan forever. He like writes for WWE, I'm pretty sure, or used to write for WWE.
Yeah, that was something you were telling me that I was like, what?
Yeah, it's
Freddie
crazy.
Prinze
Like,
Jr.?
yeah, and he even was one of the first actors to go on WWE, but like now actors do it all the time for
Yeah.
like promotions, and Jake Paul's on it. You know, everybody's on WWE now. He was one of the first to go on, and like people fucking hated it because he wasn't like an actual wrestler. Like, and he got like outcast, but he was like, I love wrestling. Like, I was just trying to live out like my dream, and I have an opportunity. Yeah, so he wants to kind of start his own thing. So we'll be on the lookout. I don't know what it's called. There's not much
Yeah.
information. I just heard this breaking news like a couple days ago, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope it happens because like again, more competition is always good. So if we have more wrestling shows and stuff, the product rises, and maybe we'll see some shit that we haven't seen in a long time.
Do you follow wrestling?
Not really.
Okay.
As much as
did you?
Back in the day, I was a big wrestling guy. Like
Okay.
like middle school and probably by high school I was kind of out of it probably.
Yeah.
But like 7th, 8th grade, I fucked with wrestling really, really hard.
So did I. 7th, 8th. I'd say fucking at least 4th to probably 7th or 8th grade was when I was into it.
Like in college, I really started getting interested in more so like the performance aspect and like respecting the storylines that they were kind of telling and things like that. So I went back and got really kind of into wrestling post growing up, so to say. More so not to watch it live in the actual wrestling part, but like the whole live show almost. It's theater. It's theater in a way. It's a different form of theater. So it's interesting to me in that way. And fucking go Freddie Prinze Jr., man. Like,
yeah.
I hope to see it.
Fuck yeah. We'll keep everybody posted on that because that's fucking awesome. That's interesting news. That's some shit that I wasn't expecting to come out of some nerd news.
Yeah.
That's Freddie's nerd. His wrestling.
That's Freddie's
Yeah,
nerd.
exactly.
Yeah,
There's got to be a couple wrestler nerds. If there are, leave a comment. Shout out your favorite wrestler.
Yeah, for sure. What was your favorite wrestler when you were...
Oh, it depends. See, this is where we're going to get into this.
Come on.
We're supposed to keep
one.
it short.
Just one. Mine was Dwayne Johnson. I was a fucking huge Rock fan. I have a figure right up there.
I was Undertaker.
Undertaker?
Yeah.
Sam was Undertaker.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. Ooh, good one. Undertaker's fucking awesome, too. Those are icons.
Yeah, no,
Those
that's,
are fucking
that's my
icons, all three of them.
dad's favorite. My other favorite wrestler is John Cena. Like,
okay.
And he's still, but
Yeah.
like back in the day when I was like, he was an actual wrestler and Stone Cold was like, like retired by then or getting to the end of his rope.
Austin 316 matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking Texas rattlesnake.
Texas Rattlesnake. My next 3 points here are just trailers. So
let me hit you with my last piece of nerd news then.
these aren't my last 3, but go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said your last 3 are trailers.
These next 3 are trailers.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, well, yeah, I'll just hit you with my piece.
Okay.
Neil Adams,
Yeah.
artist of Batman, most commonly known for Batman and X-Men comics, passed away, 80 years old. He is kind of the one that they are saying is responsible for making Batman more darker. He got away from the campier blue and those tones and got more into the darker Batman that we see and kind of associate Batman with today. He also was the co-creator of Ra's al Ghul, Man-Bat, and Jon Stewart, which is cool. Those are like iconic characters, to like be a co-creator / creator, whatever it is, of those. That's pretty badass. Those are 3 cool, iconic characters. I mean, Jon Stewart's actually the one that's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, the other ones are villains, but...
Yeah, but...
I mean, fucking Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul,
yeah,
actually,
Ra's al Ghul is like
that's
a huge...
fucking huge, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's huge in lore of characters, so... R.I.P.
That opened up to Damien and everything.
Yeah, we don't get Damien without Ra's,
That's my fucking boy.
Yeah, so that's R.I.P. to Neil Adams, but...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Neil. Very much. So my 3 trailers I got. Thor: Love and Thunder came out. This trailer was good.
It's all right.
The music is really what gets you, and it's kind of like when I talked about the Miss Marvel trailer. Like when you hear fucking Blinding Lights by The Weeknd playing, you're like, oh, I already like this. Mixed with some good footage. I'm a Weeknd fan. So when you hear fucking Sweet Child of Mine, I mean, Sam's got this problem. When she hears Sweet Child of Mine, she thinks Step Brothers. She thinks Derek. And absolutely, I'm the same way. But so this trailer came out, and we get to see some fun things. We get to see Jane Foster as Thor, which was awesome. She catches that fucking hammer at the end, and her arm looks fucking built. Like she's been working out. It's exciting. We get to see the Guardians. I showed the girls this trailer, and they're like, I want to see this because they want to see Groot. So they're already racking in a fucking 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. What's that?
And Peter. They want to see
they
all
want
the
to see
Guardians.
Peter. They love fucking Peter Quill. So, but it looks like a fun trailer. It looks like a fun movie. And I mean, it's Taika Waititi. They had some really cool comic accurate. They've been posting on the internet of how it looks compared to the actual comics. And there's like a page there's a page out of the comics, and then there's also the shot that they were doing, and it's fucking ripped directly from the comics. So I'm excited to see what they're doing with that.
Dude, fucking, he came out and the Takiti Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Fuck that up.
It's called TW.
Yeah, exactly. TW. He came out and was saying that like Christian Bale was like quote unquote the best Marvel villain.
Yeah, I saw that today. That came out like today or yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, that's a bold fucking claim, man. But
it is.
We'll see. Christian Bale's the one if anyone's gonna do it. So we'll see. I'm excited to see it. I don't think the trailer gave away that much, which I'm happy about.
It's a teaser.
Like I said, I don't think it's like that. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is an amazing trailer. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a cool Thor movie. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are really into Ragnarok. They loved Ragnarok. It was a good movie, but a lot of people say that's their favorite. So
we've come a long way from Thor 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're good.
Absolutely, but that comes out August 8th, and I'm sure there's going to be at least one more trailer to two more trailers, so we'll keep people covered on that. Next trailer I have is the Lightyear trailer. So Lightyear got a full trailer, and we got to see Zurg. We got to see some of the storyline that's happening, and I've said multiple times, at least once on every episode, I think that I'm a time travel whore, and it looks like Lightyear's going to be doing some time travel, and I'm stoked on it.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm also, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be as, like, when I first heard that this was getting announced and everything, I was very, very pumped.
Yeah.
And then after the trailers, I still think it looks very cool, and I like the time travel aspect, but I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think Chris Evans sounds awesome.
He does.
I think he sounds really, really, really close
Similar.
to, like,
yeah.
Buzz Lightyear. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm excited, but I do have some reservations.
TW Taika Waititi also does a voice in it, so
he's in everything.
I don't say
everything.
We were rewatching
Good for him, though.
We were rewatching the trailer, and Sam goes, "Is that Taika Waititi?" I said, "Yeah, dude's got his hand in everything." It was when we saw Multiverse of Madness.
Well,
We saw the Lightyear trailer.
He's got a great voice. That's the problem.
I just hear what we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's hilarious.
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows. He's great in that. Another trailer I have is the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
Oh,
I spoke to you a little bit about this. Like, I really like the teaser just called it Duel of the Fates. It's the music. The music does it for me. All the trailers I see, it's got to be good music. So this one has, or the teaser had Duel of the Fates. This one does not have Duel of the Fates, but we're getting a little more of that storyline.
I think the teaser trailer relied heavily on old Star Wars power and clout.
I see
gave you that, like, Duel of the Fates. It set the mood. It tapped into its old. This trailer kind of gave you a look at what this show is going to be on its own. And it felt like it didn't have crazy classic music. All the music was its own type thing. It set the mood. It showed little things of this is what you're going to see. So, and what we saw, I'm excited for. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I've been very excited for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Yeah.
And I think there's you can do a lot with the stories and the time frame that you have of Luke and Leia growing up with what happened.
Definitely. Did you have a favorite part from the trailer? Or a part that stuck out that you're like, I can't wait to see how this part.
See, that's tough because like I'm like a Vader whore.
Yeah.
So like when they fucking clipped in his goddamn chest piece and it lit up, I was like, oh man! Just because you see Ewan's face, fucking Obi-Wan's face, like his eyes. And,
yeah. Do you think he is in the room when he's seeing that?
I don't know. That could be.
I know it could be a misedit.
I think it's a misedit because there was that quote that Ewan was like, when I saw Vader on set for the first time, that was the first time I've ever seen Vader on set. Because when I acted with him, he was Anakin.
That's right.
And growing up a Star Wars fan, he was like, that was running into, like the devil.
Yeah.
That's the scariest villain in the world. And so the first time he saw, what's his name?
Darth Vader? Or Anakin?
Christian, yeah. Who plays...
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. First time he saw Hayden Christensen in the Vader suit, he was like, it was a genuine, like, shock, like, holy shit, like, Darth Vader is here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Like, and I'm getting sad because I'm starting to realize it's probably going to be like very end of like one of the last episodes. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really excited, and I hope it happens It's going to be 6 episodes, so I'm hoping that it happens like episode 2, where we get to see... Because this is going to be crazy. I mean, the last time Obi-Wan saw Anakin, he left him to die on the fucking planet. All Obi-Wan knows is that he is dead. So the next time he sees him, it's either going to be when Darth Vader takes his helmet off and shows him his face and he sees it's Hayden Christensen Anakin, or it's going to be when you see him suit up and he's like, who? That's fucking Anakin. I thought he was dead. It's been years. This is crazy.
It depends nuts. It kind of depends on when this all really, really takes place. Because Vader's reign of the galaxy starts for a while. He goes on a tirade of just taking over everything, and that's the rise of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically, and Obi-Wan knows who Vader is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not so much of a surprise of holy shit. So it all depends on what we're getting with Vader. If this takes place of the moment of at the end of the 3rd movie when he's getting the suit on and he wakes up and he's like, no, and fucking force crushes everything,
Yeah.
That that's what it could be, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see where this timeline is and what's happened, because in the comics, Vader has a storyline in comic books and story where he just he just goes on a warpath of just Attila the Hunting shit, and just Genghis Khan just take the land and start getting rid of it all. So it's like I'm saying, there's so much they can do with this that
You might get him in the first episode, and that's who's hunting Obi-Wan.
no chance.
You never know.
But that's something that
chance.
I'm really excited to see, is that moment where he fucking sees Anakin for the first time since he left him, as well as one of the parts that I fucking loved, and I audibly during watching it, was the part where he tells fucking Joel Edgerton's character, his Uncle Ben, Luke's Uncle Ben, he's like, oh, when he gets of age, he will be trained to be a Jedi. And he goes, oh, you're going to train him like you trained his dad? Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn! It's true. So, shots fired, yeah. I'm excited for that scene to play out. So, CinemaCon is, I don't really understand. I'm assuming exactly how it sounds, is that it's a comic convention of some type where they just talk about movies that are coming out.
Basically.
And these are some of my favorite stories that came out. Some of my not so favorite, though, as well. This is one of them that fucking punched me in the heart, was that they pushed off the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse from November this year to June of next year.
It's a big push.
It's a big push. Across the Spider-Verse is the title of the second one, and they also released that the 3rd movie is going to be called Beyond the Spider-Verse, and that comes out March 24th.
Yep.
They also gave us this information. They said that the first movie had 40 characters in it, and they said that the second one is going to have 240 characters.
That's stupid.
And have 6 universes. And I'm like, whoa, what?
That's why it's got pushed for another fucking 8 months.
So I hope they do a good job, because that sounds alarming to, us. That sounds like, oh shit, you're going to jam too much stuff into a movie. So I hope they do a good job, because the first movie is amazing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Another part was that they're going to be doing a sequel to Ghostbusters. So however you want to look at the continuity, this could be Ghostbusters 5, or this is Ghostbusters 4, if you want to count the all-woman cast. It's 5. I'm excited. It's not necessarily something that I want. I kind of wish they would have just stopped with Ghostbusters Afterlife, because I really, really, really liked Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't want them to ruin it. But I'm accepting, and I'm like, all right, I'll take it. Did you saw Afterlife, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't see Afterlife, no.
We gotta watch it.
I love the first 2. I hated the
woman.
Yeah, I hated that one.
You gotta stop calling it the woman movie. It makes it sound...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that once.
It makes me sound sexist.
I want everyone to be clear. That's Matty saying that. I didn't say that once. I didn't like the 3rd.
That's just because I hate women. So.
Adaptation one. That's terrible.
Yeah, I hate women, clearly.
So, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list, though.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
yeah. Another piece they announced is that the Wicked movie. So we had talked about this. I didn't know that you were a Wicked fan. I'm a big Wicked fan. I've seen it 3 times now, and the girls have seen it, and Sam has seen it once. They're doing a movie that's been announced for a while. They did have a cast for a while, which I'm not too stoked on the cast, but I was like, okay, whatever. I like the story, so hopefully they do a good job. And they just released that it's going to be split into 2 different parts, and they're going to be coming out the first part Christmas 2024 and then Christmas 2025.
I like Wicked a lot. It's a ballsy move, though. It's
Yes.
a ballsy move to be like, you're going to like Wicked, our first part, so much, you're going to come back and watch the second part of it. It's like, that's fucking, it's a very bold move to do to, like, a play.
Absolutely. What did you say, Sam?
I said a year later.
Oh,
yeah,
a year later.
Yeah, a whole year later, yeah.
So.
I wish they did what they did for Hamilton.
Yeah, I agree. Sam said that she wishes that they would have done what they did for Hamilton.
Yeah, we have to repeat what she says, or else they're never going to hear that.
She's going to get a mic soon. We'll be able to hear her super clear. But, yeah, I liked what they did with Hamilton, and I know that they're going to be releasing an Aladdin version like Hamilton, where it's just going to be the stage play recorded.
There a lot of people do, like the whole, like the BBC does that with the, like Shakespeare Theater and all that. They started that in COVID. They do it all the time now.
We got to say British broadcast.
No, I can say BBC.
It's not. I think big black cock when I hear BBC.
Hey, if you can say, like, I hate women and all that thing, I can say BBC when we're talking about the TV show in the UK, the TV network.
But they are splitting it into 2 different.
The original BBC.
Yeah, the original BBC. I don't know about that, but yeah. So they're splitting it into 2 movies. I hope it's good because I really like the stage play. So I hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Another announcement they did. They had some Flash footage from the movie The Flash. We're very torn about this footage. I've heard that they haven't. It's not. It's not a very descriptive, but it's like a key points that they said, and they said that General Zod, Michael Shannon from Man of Steel, is in it. They have said that there was several bat suits in the footage, so Michael Keaton's gonna be getting some fucking bat suits, or there will be multiple Batmen in this movie, and maybe those are all the suits. I mean, Ben Affleck is confirmed to be in this movie as well, so maybe we're gonna be seeing some of his suits. Maybe we're gonna see a Thomas Wayne. Maybe fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan's gonna show up and fucking slay some ass. I don't know.
Maybe it's just his suit collection, like in the Lego Batman movie.
It could be like that, which is cool too. And then they also said that in the footage you hear Michael Keaton saying, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
That makes me sick.
Yeah, they're just trying to get asses in the seats.
That's insane. That's such a cheap, like, it's such a desperate plea of, like, come see this movie, please, because it's going to just remind you of the good times.
You remember that
part? You shouldn't have to do that, because that should be something you have in your back pocket that, like, you just let play in the theater. The fact you're using that in pre-promotional shit, it's just like, man, this movie's going to be fucking terrible. It's going to be terrible, and they're going to try to bring Michael Keaton down with it, man. He's going to have to fucking wait 5 years and then do a real old Batman Beyond movie to, like, redeem himself. I feel bad. And he's going to have to, like, carry the whole workload. Like, it's just, I don't know. Again, I'm sure some people are geeked about it. Like, and I'm more power to you. I wish I was super excited to hear when I heard all that, but it's just, that bumps me out because it's just like, man, that's not good vibes.
I'm trying to stay not positive about it, but not shit on it yet.
And at this rate, their main character is not going to be able to attend the premiere. He's going to be on house arrest.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. And then the last piece of CinemaCon news was that we're getting the Batman 2 sequel. They haven't released a title. They haven't released a date for it. They haven't set a villain. All we have is a confirmation that there will be a second movie. And that's all I fucking need, really. I mean, it was just to hear that, because it was like a month. It's been a month since the movie came out, and we're all like, what the fuck's happening? What's going on? So it's just exciting to hear that there will be a second movie. Not that we had a doubt in our mind.
But it's official.
Yes, now we don't have to worry. And then my last 2 pieces of nerd news actually tie into what we're talking about, our topic, Doctor Strange. So the first piece is that there was a new trailer for that was shown before Multiverse of Madness, and that was for Avatar: The Way
Avatar.
of Water.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about this trailer?
Fucking incredible looking water. Like if you're gonna have a movie named after water,
Yeah.
you gotta have good looking water. If anyone plays video games, Sea of Thieves, it's like, oh, this is the best video game water I've ever seen. This is a pirate game, and it's just got incredible looking water. That's how I felt when I was watching this. I was like, God damn, this is fucking great looking water. You know what I mean? Because
I always thought you were sarcastic at the beginning of that. You were like, the fucking water looks great.
No,
okay.
dude, I'm fucking not kidding. And it's funny because you're like, you're going to go see this and be like, holy shit, underwater's crazy. And then you're going to like go see Aquaman 2 and be like, oh shit. Because there's no way that underwater is going to compare to James Cameron in a cave for 10 years fucking figuring out how to do all this. You know what I mean? You can't compete with that. This is what this guy does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think the trailer was anything crazy. It's like very just, yep, this is going to be Avatar. Like, it just is, okay, it's going to be some crazy looking shit. The humans and the avatars have just not figured it out.
Makes you want to go to Pandora.
Yeah, it's just Pandora. Like, it
So
looks
you haven't been to Pandora and Disney World yet.
No.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's an amazing sight to see.
So, yeah,
I was
with it.
I was really underwhelmed with this trailer.
Yeah.
I feel like for the amount of time that we've all waited, I thought he was going to give us a little bit more. I know that this is just a teaser trailer, but I was like, all right, this is it.
James
And-
Cameron don't owe you shit.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
does-
James
no,
Cameron
he
doesn't
doesn't.
shit.
I feel like because we waited so fucking long, I can't remember what the original release date was. Maybe you can look that up, Sam, what the original release date was for Avatar 2. But I feel like for the amount of time that we've waited, I was like, this is all we fucking got, man. This is it. But I do believe that we are supposed to be getting sequels like every year after this movie.
There's no way that ends up happening, but it's a good rollout plan.
I mean, he could be pulling a fucking Two Towers and Return of the King, where he's...
The original release date was meant to come out December 2014 for The Way of Water.
No shit.
So as long
December
as our marriage-
2014.
Yeah, that's a long fucking time. He owes us a little bit more than than what he gave us. I think.
In a trailer, who gives a shit? I don't care what I'm over movies giving me things, dude. Again, I will always bring it back to Dark Knight. Fucking Christopher
poster?
Nolan. No, Christopher Nolan dropped the trailer of Dark Knight like a month before the movie came out. It was fucking Batman riding on a motorcycle with a little fucking Michael Caine monologue and a little Joker at the end. And he said, that's all you fuckers are getting. And everyone went and saw it, and it was better for it because you didn't know what you were walking into. I'm tired of them giving everything away at trailers. Let me just see a couple fucking monster avatar fish and swimming around. We're good, man. We're going to be in a good place, dude. We're going to be in a good place.
Make it a surprise. 'cause
We're gonna be a good
nothing's
place.
a surprise anymore.
Nah, I don't like surprises.
Well,
I want to know.
No. Then you
I like the spoilers.
You get on the dark course, dark crevices of Reddit then, and find your spoilers.
I can't because my fucking wife doesn't like when I do that, and then we go see the movie.
Well,
What am I paying for?
I still want to fucking see it visually. I just want to know ahead of time what's gonna happen. I love spoilers. Yeah, so that was one of the things before the movie was Avatar: Way of Water, and it does look cool. It looks fantastic. I'm excited to see how this plays out. We're gonna see it in fucking December. I believe it comes out the week before Christmas, so maybe we'll be covering this around Christmas time. Whenever it comes out, we'll figure it out. But I know we're gonna cover it. We're gonna fucking see this movie, so we'll keep you guys updated on everything for it. And then the last piece of nerd news that I have. Do you have any more nerd news? Are you done? Okay. So the last piece I have is that this fucking backlash. So this movie, Multiverse of Madness, is actually banned in Saudi Arabia. It's banned because of an LGBTQ plus reference by America Chavez. And now that we've seen the movie,
no, we don't have to get into that yet. We
No.
can talk about that a little bit in the spoilers part, but like at the same time, like
well, they've released this in the headlines that
yeah, what it is.
it
Yeah,
was
we don't
just-
have to talk about.
It
the
was
scene,
like
though.
12 lines. It was that she mentions her mom, her moms.
Yeah.
She has two moms, and she mentions
No, good
it,
for
and
Marvel,
and
dude.
Saudi Arabia was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, no, good for
We're keeping it
Marvel
in.
being like, yeah, because I mean that's now that you've seen it, it really is a scene. You can kind of cut around that easily, but Marvel said, "Fuck you, dude,"
And they
make the
should.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm props to them and good. Who cares?
Yeah.
Should be.
But it's sad. It's sad that there's still places that haven't fucking
Oh, yeah.
accepted it.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's all we got for nerd news. That's all we got. So let's get into
Finally, let's do it.
before we get into multiverse. So Strange 1 came out in 2016. Was this a must-see movie for you? Like, did you go see this movie right away, or did you wait till it came out? And
Doctor Strange, the first one?
yeah, the first one.
Ooh, that's a fucking good question. I know I saw it in theaters, so I definitely
you
saw
did?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see it in theaters. I know I was excited because this was like truly a character that I knew nothing about. So it was refreshing for me to kind of be like, I don't know what I'm going to get at all. I don't know where he comes from, what his powers really are. So I was excited for that, and I really liked the first one. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I did not see it in theaters. I believe Sam and I just watched it whenever it came out on Blu-ray or whatever it was, and we liked it. We thought it was really
trippy.
good.
It's trippy.
It's definitely
cool.
trippy. And it was something that, like you had said, you don't know anything about this character, and we went in with a Guardians of the Galaxy mentality of like,
Right.
we don't really know what it is, but we know it's Marvel, so we're going to see it and have our
Civil War.
Civil War came out before. Okay.
Okay, so that was a
Yeah,
banger.
so it came right off of Civil War.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Which I think today or yesterday is celebrating its anniversary.
Yeah. I
which
think
is
it's today.
fun. Yeah, nice. But no, so we did not see it right away, but we did like the first film, which
I think it's a good intro film for a character.
it definitely
My
was.
only gripe of the first Doctor Strange movie is how he becomes the master of everything in like fucking 6 months. That irks me.
Even though he's super smart and he was
Yeah, I don't give a
okay.
shit because he still says like because it's still like they go out of the way to say how long he spent in medical school and training and all this shit. So even if you're a prodigy and all that, like he became again. But I get it's a movie. You got to speed shit up. Like I understand.
It's
But
magic.
that shit
magic,
kind
bro.
of that was my only thing of being like, okay, this guy's the Sorcerer Supreme in that movie. Off of fucking studying for a semester and a half. Like, okay. But again, that's me looking kind of for a gripe. Other than that, like I think it's cool. I love Wong.
Yeah,
I love Mordo from the first movie. I think everything's awesome. The sensei, I can't remember her name.
the ancient one.
Yeah, the ancient one. Thank you.
I think my least favorite part of the first one was Dormammu.
Yeah, it's a weird villain. It's a hard villain to pull off like on screen.
It reminded me of the fucking Green Lantern movie,
the Parasite, the
Parallax.
Yeah, the poop monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, where like, so he had
not
the one villain who was an actual person, and then you had Parallax, just like in the first movie you had Cassilier, and then you also have Dormammu, and it was like it was over like that, which it was cool the way he beat Dormammu with the time stone and having it revert every time, and it was cool, but I was like, kind of lame.
Yeah, I agree. Rachel McAdams is cool in it. I like her.
Yeah, she was good. So let's get into fucking Multiverse of Madness. And this movie came out this year. It came out this week. It's directed by Sam Raimi. And this was originally supposed to come out May 7th, 2021. It was supposed to come out before Loki. It was supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because
It is interesting.
Because there's reasons that we'll explain later. There's a small reference to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is fine that we talk about because something that we are going to talk about right now.
No, I mean at this
is
point,
what people who haven't seen this movie should see before they see this movie.
Oh, okay, so still spoilers free.
Yes, still
Okay.
spoiler free, but things that they should see. So you did one of them.
I don't agree with it.
You need the first episode.
I don't think you do.
You don't think so?
Nope. I think you can if you want, but I don't think you need to at all.
We're referring to What If. So one of the things that I think that people should see, and you don't need to see the entire thing, is the first episode of What If. If you
Just leave it at that.
if you've seen it, then you know. If you've seen it, then you know. If you haven't, then
I will
maybe
say,
check it out.
out of the other things you need to see before, this is the least like this. If you don't see this, you're fine. You're not going to be like, oh, it's still a pop. If you know Marvel movies and everything and all that, you'll be okay. what else you need to see? You need to see WandaVision.
You do need to see WandaVision.
You need to see. If you don't see WandaVision, there will be questions that probably do not get answered.
Which is upsetting because so when WandaVision first came out, people had asked Kevin Feige, "Hey, do I need to see WandaVision to understand what's going to happen in the movies?" And he's like, "No. You don't need to see any of the shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier. You don't need to see the show to understand what's going to be happening in the movies." And this is a fucking direct sequel to WandaVision.
Almost, yeah.
And
I guess if you didn't know WandaVision existed at all, I bet you would be able to figure it out. Kind of like I'd be interested to see someone who hasn't seen WandaVision watch this and just kind of talk or kind of tell me what their kind of perspective and how they kind of come to all the conclusions that we don't get to have because we have questions answered from WandaVision kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's a must see. Like that, I would watch WandaVision, or else you're going to be kind of confused.
Yes, I agree 100%. Something else they do, like I said, they do have a small reference to Spider-Man: No Way Home, so it's not necessary that you see it, but it could help a little bit. But all in all,
The first 15 minutes of No Way Home, you're good.
I mean, this is the fucking 24th or 25th film in the MCU. So I mean,
Correct.
if you're coming into the fucking MCU starting with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, you're fucked up in general.
you got a lot of catching up to do
Yeah.
anyways. So yeah, exactly. That's like I said, the only detrimental thing that I really would if my mom was like, "Oh, what do I need to watch before?" I'd be like, "You should watch WandaVision."
Yes.
Because you're not going to know what the fuck's going on.
And the first Doctor Strange.
Yes. Go watch Doctor Strange 1 before you do this. Because you're definitely going to not know what's going on if you don't do that.
As well as a small reference to Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is
they
the
do talk
Marvel
about
universe
the
is
snap.
The Marvel universe is so big now that it's a universe where things have happened and there's canon things that have happened that they're now going to refer to forever. So any Marvel movie you just jump into, there's going to be things that go right over your head, but integral to the plot, something that's very, very important that you won't just go, "What the fuck did that mean?" and get over it. WandaVision.
Yeah.
Which I love WandaVision. I think it's a cool show, so I recommend it anyways.
It's in my top half of the shows that they've released, but it's not my favorite. And
Takes you a minute to figure out what they're doing, and then once you figure out what they're doing, it's like, oh, this is actually artistically genius. This is really cool.
Artistically,
you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying, and I don't want to say anything because I don't really want to spoil that.
oh, fuck that, man! It's been out for a year.
No, but I just watched it recently for the first time. Like I said, so I was the same way. I just watched it recently. Yeah, dude. So
Okay,
like I said, it takes a couple episodes. It takes a couple episodes to get into it, but once you kind of see what is going on and what the show kind of is, you're like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. Yeah.
And that's what that was all I was going to say was that it took me I think they released the first 2 episodes right away.
Yeah, I think it was the third or fourth
And-
episode when I was like, oh,
Yes.
okay, this is a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be.
But then I feel like they fucked up the finale for me. It's the last 2 episodes just didn't hit me as well as the middle episodes did.
Fair.
So it was a slow start for me, and then it got really good for me, and then it fucking ended wrong for me. So I was like,
I was cool with it, and I didn't mind the ending. I liked the ending. So
there's certain elements that I really liked.
I like WandaVision. I
don't hate it. Yeah, but so one of the things I do want to mention to people before, about this movie, and this isn't a spoiler, but fucking check your expectations before you go into this movie. There's a lot of things that were being passed around the internet that you're you kind of got excited for, of certain cameos that might or might not happen, and you think that something's going to happen. Just fucking check your expectations before you see this movie, because those things may or may not happen, and villains may or may not come in, and it's just something, we got to keep ourselves in check, because I know, with fucking WandaVision, everyone's like, Mephisto! I mean, our friend Eddie and us, and Sam, every fucking week, we're like, here's Mephisto, here's Mephisto. We didn't even know who the fuck Mephisto is, but we saw it passed around in the air, so it's gotta be Mephisto.
The bug on the curtain.
Yeah, the fucking bug on the curtains is my fucking Mephisto. It's a fly. So just check your expectations. I mean, this movie...
Well, and the thing to remember, too, is you guys got to remember you're walking into seeing a Sam Raimi movie. And if you don't know Sam Raimi, he's the OG Spider-Man guy. But before that, he was the Evil Dead guy.
Yes.
So you guys, a lot of people I don't think are realizing the director behind this movie, and you get hit at the door if you don't know what you're walking in. Like, I know who Sam Raimi is and what to expect. So if you don't know, it's not your typical Marvel movie. It's got its own like style, and if you're expecting kind of just like, oh, it's going to be another Spider-Man or it's going to be another Captain America, it's not.
No, and that's something that I fucking really enjoyed about this movie is that Sam Raimi brought his own style. Most of these, it seems like most of the Marvel films, they do have like a criteria.
Yeah, it's like a mold. It's like the Marvel mold.
And this fucking movie broke that mold.
Yeah,
Sam
I want to
Raimi
get into it when
brought
we get
his
in the spoilers. I want to get more into that, but it's
yes.
And I want to stress it's ridiculously hard. You would think it's easy, but it's ridiculously hard to have a style that you can do in all these different movies and all these forms of stories and still come out as like, oh, that's Sam Raimi. And the fact he did it again is like, that's fucking incredible and very, very hard to do. And to do well enough where you get big studio projects like this. Like, this isn't a little indie movie of him making zombies like Evil Dead, you know?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, you know, and more props to Sam Raimi for it. Whether you like the movie or not, I respect Sam Raimi a huge amount for this movie.
Absolutely. I do have a short spoiler-free review that some people, if they, before we get into spoilers and people who want to shut this off if you haven't seen the movie, short spoiler-free review. So, like Tyler had said, Sam Raimi is the director of this movie, and he does a fucking fantastic job. This is the most gruesome Marvel movie that we have seen yet. This is the most gory Marvel movie we have seen yet. Yeah. There are deaths that happen that you're like, holy shit, I cannot believe this is a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There are jump scares in this movie. Sam fucking jumped next to me and she scared me because she jumped so fucking hard. And then we laughed about it in the theater. The characters are good. Fucking Strange is as good as he was in the first movie. Wong is as good as he was in the first movie. Wanda is as good as she was in WandaVision. Nobody really surpassed my expectations acting-wise. There are some new characters. America Chavez is one of those new characters, and she was fun. I cannot wait.
She was all right.
I can't wait to see more of her.
Yeah, I don't think there wasn't anyone that like blew me away or anything like that. But again, there was no one that was bad or like, oh, that was corny. They all served their purpose in the story pretty well.
Yes. Rachel McAdams is back, and she's fun as well.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah, character-wise, nobody fucked up enough, or fucked up a lot. Nobody exceeded my expectations. Mm-hmm. Fucking train I could hear. This movie, while Tyler had mentioned that the trailers he feels gives away too much, I feel like this movie was not predictable. I couldn't have guessed what was going to happen in this movie through the trailer. And that is just my opinion. I like spoilers. I like looking things up, knowing ahead of time. I don't like surprises, but I couldn't have guessed what was going to happen in this movie from the trailer. I think it was thrown around a lot that, fucking years ago they were saying that Wanda was going to be the villain of this movie, and in the trailer they make it out that way. So I mean, it's, if you want to predict that that's how it is, then it's sort of that way. It is that way. Sorry for that tiny spoiler, but
yeah, you are the absolute worst of saying no spoilers and then giving us
no.
You really
fucking bullshit.
No, you do. You do
that
it a
was
lot.
The only thing that I spoiled.
I was waiting for it. That was what I was waiting for.
But aside, they fucking made it that way in the trailer. So whatever. That was the only spoiler that I accidentally gave out just now, is that she is the villain of this movie. But
just the big thing in the movie.
As far as
he'll be like, "Don't tell me," and he'll be like, "Guess what?"
Yep.
But as far as character-wise and everything, when you sit down in this, before you even sit down in the theater, you know who's making out of this movie and who's not making out of this movie. That was the only predictable part for me, is that I knew what was going to happen character-wise. as far as story-wise, I had no idea what was going to happen. The score is fucking awesome. Danny Elfman does the score. He does a really good job. There are moments that, because Danny Elfman and Sam Raimi work together in the Spider-Man franchise, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man franchise, there were times that I'm listening to this score and I'm like, that sounds like Spider-Man. Just fucking throw that sheet music out, Danny, because I heard Spider-Man tones for sure. But then there were times that you're like, whew, this is fucking gold right here. But it's not the best Marvel movie. It's not the worst Marvel movie. But I recommend going to see it. And that was my semi-spoiler-free review. I let one thing slip. And it's not that big.
That's why we should, when we start talking topic from that point on.
No, we kept the spoiler free until I got that one thing.
But that's the point.
No, Tyler.
That's the point.
Do the spoiler free review.
Yeah.
Did you write a spoiler free review?
That's what we'll do from now on.
Did you write a spoiler free review?
No, of course not.
I fucking had it in the notes.
So?
All right then.
Oh, you don't want to start this.
That's Tyler's job.
Hey, fine. You write the spoiler free reviews.
No, I'm not writing spoiler free reviews.
But from this point on, we will be talking spoilers. So if you haven't seen this fucking movie, turn this off. Play it later after you've seen the movie, because we're going to spoil the shit out of it. We will be talking mostly scene by scene, what's going on, hitting some key points of things we really liked. So stop it right now. So this movie starts with a dream. And it's not really a dream. This is our introduction to America Chavez. It's her and Supreme Strange, the red suit that we've seen in toys and shit in the trailer, and they're trying to get the Book of Ashanti. And this is where you're kind of introduced to her powers as well. She's can jump to different multiverses.
Yeah.
Just from being scared. She doesn't know how to control her shit. And it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm on board. Next scene we seen is going to is Strange getting ready. He wakes up from a fucking dream that he thinks, but it was actually what was happening to America Chavez, and it's just him seeing like a deja vu type thing. So he wakes up and he's going to Christine's wedding. He's a guest at her wedding, and that's where some fucking shit starts happening, and we see that he goes to save the day, and we're introduced to Wong. Wong comes back.
We also run into the old doctor, his old surgeon doctor.
Yes.
That's the guy who sits next to him at the wedding.
And he mentions the snap that he
cool.
was.
Yeah, that they were both gone.
I do like that a lot. And so Wong and Strange, they rescue America Chavez.
They fight a fucking octopus monster.
Yeah, it's like an octopus thing, I guess. Or Sam calls it Starro from the
It's
Suicide
cool.
Squad.
It looks cool.
Yeah. It looks
it's
badass.
a cool fucking monster. And like during that whole fight scene which was a cool fight scene. It's just like the middle of fucking New York City. Like they're using magic and just magic versus giant monster in the middle of New York. Just daylight. It's awesome. I'll always love the portal tricks of like cutting shit in half or like falling and then doing a portal and like coming out running like horizontally. Like that shit is like something only Doctor Strange can kind of do, and it's so cool. And I guess Wong can do it in that shit, but you know what I mean? Like that shit is so cool and will get me every time because it's just so cool. And it's also, we started seeing Doctor Strange for the first time ever have like these monsters built into these spells. Like,
yes, that was interesting.
The snakes on the chains, and it's all really cool, but it was like, where the fuck did this come from? Like they got rid of just like that orange, like it wasn't always just the orange typical spell that he always like kind of uses. There was the snake chains. There was like he summoned like a demon cat head to like bite the one thing at one point, and then like giant hands in the first battle, and like we see less and less of it as the movie goes on, like of him using those. It's more of the normal Doctor Strange shit. But all of a sudden I was like, man, like this dude like is throwing around demonic spells and stuff, and it's really cool, but like it comes out of nowhere and they never explain anything.
It almost
but it's touched on a little bit in that one What If.
It almost
what if he goes bad and that's when he starts
What if he goes- yeah.
summoning-
Yeah, but
it almost reminds me of like the Power Ring. It almost reminds me of the fucking Green Lantern ring where he could just manifest. Like he makes a saw and it saws the fucking bus in half and it's throwing him. I'm like, this is some Green Lantern shit.
Correct.
So they rescue America Chavez and then they're in a diner and she's explaining to them that she can't control her powers. She can only open these portals to different multiverses. She could jump between multiverses. She's the only one that could do this, and she only does it when she's scared. So she needs to learn how to
typical X-Men bullshit that they can't use because they don't own X-Men.
Is she an X-Men character?
No,
okay.
But the whole idea of like your young character having this ability that they just cannot control, and they can it only gets released through extreme signs of stress or things like that.
Some Phoenix shit.
Yeah,
okay.
all the fucking that's how all the fucking mutants get found. They're a teenager. They make out with their girlfriend and set them on fire, dude. It's like, oh, I'm a mutant.
Yeah.
Now Xavier comes knocking like, hey, we can help you.
So this is where they're talking about, okay, well, we need somebody to we need to hide America. We need to take care of her. We need to keep her safe. So where are we going to go? And Doctor Strange is like, hey, I know somebody. And he goes to see Wanda, and Wanda's in a fucking apple orchard at her house that she was at the end of the WandaVision series.
Well, because it was Chavez makes sure that she tells him the like it's like a demon that's chasing them through the multiverse or whatever, the old Strange in her. So because he dies. The original Strange you meet
in the
Jessica
in the dream air quotes
America Chavez with he dies.
Yes.
And so it's like this demon. So once she mentions that a demon's chasing her, he's like, well, I happen to know a witch, like, because it's beyond, because him and Wong talk and they're like, we don't really know how to do this or where do we do this. And he's like, I know someone who dabbles in the arts as well. We'll be okay.
So he goes to the orchard or fucking
dope.
The area that
cool.
she's at.
It's like a middle of forest, fucking beautiful trees and shit.
And he's talking to her and he's like, hey, we got this kid and she needs protecting and I would like your help on this, and I figured that you'd be... And she goes, well, why don't you get somebody else? And he's like, well, I can get this guy or this guy, but I need somebody who knows magic, so I know you could have been up for the part. And she says, well... He tells her, well, why don't you come to the Camartage and help us out? And she says, well, why don't you just bring America here? Which I'm not sure if you caught... Did you catch it when she mentions America's name? So she...
Well, and then they say it in the movie. Yeah.
Well, she throws out America's name, and it kind of goes for another minute or two, and then she finally says, "You never told me her name, did you?" And he's like,
"Nope,
no." She fucking whips her hand, and it reveals that everything that Strange has been seeing, this orchard or this tree fucking farm,
which he buys as like real, like it's like real, like like
it's gone, and it's a fucking wasteland.
Yeah.
It's
like
just
a red
dark and
wasteland.
And it's fucking creepy. Cool. And she says...
Her outfit changes.
And she says, yeah, I want America Chavez. And the reason why she wants her is because she wants her family back from WandaVision. In WandaVision, she had a family.
Her sons.
And she lost them. And he tells her, like, look, your fucking family's not real. You made them up. How could you ever be with them? And she goes, well, I've been dabbling in the dark forces. And
she dreams about them.
She dreams about them. She goes, I know that they're alive somewhere in another multiverse. And the only way for me to get to another universe is with America Chavez's power. So she wants her fucking power. Yeah. So that's what this whole movie is about. It's just her trying to get America Chavez's power.
To get to her kids.
Which I can understand as a parent that that's what she wants, because it kind of goes into the realm where we had talked about Wenwu from Shang-Chi. Like, he's doing these bad things. The problem is that he doesn't know that what he's doing is hurting other people. And Wanda knows damn well what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows she's hurting, so I don't feel bad for her at all.
Yeah, and that's what, like, I loved WandaVision because, like, I loved that, like, it was a witch having a fucking, like, breakdown and processing, like, getting over all this shit. And it was awesome. And at the end, it seemed like she, like, semi-learned a lesson, but she also, like, took her ball and went home, like, just don't bother me. Like, I'm gonna let all these people go. Like, I fucked up. I'm over the Vision shit. Like, and then, like, I don't know. Like, I thought she was going to try to do some... I thought something was going to happen to make her kind of turn more like... I know we were talking wrestling earlier, but like more quote-unquote heel at some point. Like turn bad, way more bad at some point. But she came out the gates like, I'm going to be the bad guy of this movie. And I was just kind of like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of aggressive. Like, did we not learn anything from WandaVision kind of thing? But it's like, all right, if this is what we're going to do, like, again, but I was waiting on like, okay... this can't be kind of it, but at the end of the day, like, she is kind of just like the big bad villain. And I think that's my overarching kind of like about it is overall there's not many like lessons of that are to be learned, or like it doesn't really move
throughout the movie.
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
Either for Wanda's character, for Doctor Strange's character, and for the for the MCU as a full, it doesn't do much of like, okay, this is monumental, this is now going to change this, and this. It's kind of just like, okay, like, you know, I don't know. It's a weird
I agree
feeling,
100%,
like,
man.
And so, I don't know. I mean, I guess you do introduce, I mean, that's ignorant to say that, because it does open your minds up of multiverses and all this crazy shit, and fucking
America
Chavez, having the ability to jump, and now that's, you know, prevalent in all of this. But I don't know, as a full, it was just kind of like, okay.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, like, it does introduce things for the future of Marvel, but as far as the future of these characters and you know, lessons learned, and like I said, like redemption points,
arcs,
and character arcs and like
stuff.
Shit, like it lacks for sure.
It does.
And that was a big problem that I had with it.
Strange gets a little bit.
You know, Doctor Strange does,
but
he doesn't. He doesn't learn a lesson at the end of this movie.
He does bow to Wong though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that was
yeah,
almost a reoccurring joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, it's not.
It's the slightest of humbling. Just it's very small.
But that's the thing. It's not.
No.
Not a lesson learned though. Yeah.
So that was an element of the movie, but she tells Strange, she's like, yeah, go to the Carmitage. I'm not going to kill you right now. I want America Chavez, and just so you know, I'm going to fuck you up if you don't give me her, and you have till sundown. So,
being reasonable.
Yeah, I'm being reasonable with you right now. And so he goes back to the Carmitage, and he tells Wong what's happening, and Wong's like, he starts calling in reinforcements from around, like the fucking British sorcerers, or some other. There was another one. I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, no, they just put out like they even are like, stop training the students and tell them like it's time to go.
Yes,
like
tell the student grab their weapons.
Yeah,
and shit.
it was like all hands on deck. We're about to prepare for war.
Yeah, so they're fully on board with like, hey, we're gonna protect fucking America Chavez. And so she shows up, and she's like, all right, I'm here to get her.
Dude, she's a fucking badass, dude. Like, dude, the sky's just lit up red.
Yeah.
And she just by herself just floats up, and then Wong gives her like, don't piss this. Like, don't fuck this up, Steven.
Fuck this up, dude.
You know, like, don't fuck this up, Steven. He's like, how could I? We're good. Goes up there and floats up there, and she's straight up just like, what's your decision?
Yeah.
Because I'm either going to...
You don't look like you're ready to...
I gave you two fucking options, and if you want this to go south, like, that's totally fine, but, like, you're not going to get in my way. And
I've been reasonable
she kind of
till
whoops
now.
that ass, dude.
She does.
She's so strong. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're so smart, actually, for saving all of this post all of the other Marvel shit to happen, to show how strong she actually is and like the crazy abilities she has.
And so that's something that is really cool, because
nuts.
you had a problem with Doctor Strange learning everything so fast.
Yeah.
And because we got WandaVision, the first time we saw Wanda was Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And we saw her as a child, and she was scared, and she didn't want to fight, and now she's developed into this
her powers
one-person
army,
and
gotten,
she's
like, huge. And now that she's officially the Scarlet Witch, and has like ascended, like she's on a whole different level. Dude.
It is cool that we have seen her grow throughout. We have seen her powers develop throughout.
Yeah.
I do like that element of her character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she fucks everything up in this. She starts blowing up the Carmitage, and
She does
killing people.
She tries to like take over their mind, whisper in a couple of their ears to break down the defenses, which is cool. But it was one of my notes is she doesn't do nearly enough the more and more magical power Wanda's getting, the less and less like whispering, having people have nightmares of their future dying and stuff like that. It's not like that's what tweaked Tony Stark out. Like that started all of the
in Age of
anxiety
Ultron,
problems was him just like her whispering in his ear, and he saw like everyone dying, and it fucking freaked him out. Like she doesn't really do that anymore. So to see her kind of do that to break the shield down and then just start throwing fucking magic bombs, it was really cool.
It was really cool. The and this was one of the first scenes that we get to see the horror element of Sam Raimi. So we get to see, like, you see this person who's aching, dying, and it cuts back to Wanda, and Wanda fucking waves her hand towards him, and you see this man fucking get this essence aura that she puts on him and just fucking turns to ash. He's dead. You see this happen, and it's like, this is a killing of a person. Like, up until this point, there's been a lot of like aliens killing humans and shit like that, but this is human on human, and this is fucking bad. This is murder. Like, this is an issue. I mean, aside from like Winter Soldier and things like that, but yeah, this is a pretty, and it was a scary scene. And then when she gets through everybody and starts going after Strange, Wong, and America, she's in the main building of the Carmitage, and Strange traps her into this fucking sphere or something.
Yeah.
And she starts going into the mirrors.
The water, dude.
Yeah. And she starts.
Oh my god.
And it's
dude.
scary.
That was so cool.
It was
She
cool.
Just,
It
like
was,
yoinking dudes through puddles and shit, dude. That was so cool.
And it was definitely that element of Sam Raimi's horror that came in, and you're like, wow, I have not seen this in the MCU yet, and it's fucking great.
Yep, it is. It's really cool, and I'm surprised they let them do a lot of this shit.
I agree.
I'm happy they let. It's a good person to let them do it, because it's someone who can do horror in somewhat of a comedic value, and it helps you accept the horror a lot more. The scares are followed by laughs more times than not, and that's what kind of makes it okay. And he's so good at that.
Yes.
Whereas, other guys just do straight horror, and you can't really do that.
It's horror with an artistic fucking feel to it.
It's fun horror.
Yes.
It's fun horror.
So Wanda eventually gets through, and she knocks out Wong, and she knocks out Strange. So she's going after America, and America gets scared. So America opens up a portal on accident. And while doing that, it sucks her and Strange through this portal, and it closes, and we get to see a scene of America and Strange traveling through many different multiverses.
Yeah.
We get the two in particular that I want to talk about is because they do mention the paint one, where they just look like paint splotches, and
there's the paint one. They go through Dinosaur Land.
They do go through Dinosaur. Okay, do you remember any other ones? Because I only remember one other one off the top of my head.
There's like an anime one.
There is an anime one. There's also an animated one, and the animation almost looks like Spider-Verse animation. And I think it's interesting because I can foresee Beyond the Spider-Verse, a third movie that comes out, maybe coming into the fucking MCU, and this is our way of getting Miles, which could be interesting.
Who knows?
Just a little observation that I made.
It is cool,
and it excited me when I saw it. I immediately thought, this is where we're getting Miles Morales. He's finally coming in. But so they get through all these multiverses, and they ended up in this version of Earth, and this is Earth 838. And one of the first things, which I'm sure that you would want to talk about, is the cameo.
Yep, I was gonna say that's my first. Yep, right there.
Let them know about the cameo.
Bruce Campbell, my boy. He's in every Sam Raimi movie. There's a quote recently that was, like, when you get a script and sign on a deal, what's your first thing you do? He's like, I call Bruce. I text him. I say like, hey baby. And he says, what do you want? And he says, I got another movie. He goes, I got another movie for you. And then Bruce always responds, when does it start? Because that's it. They just know.
Yeah.
And he usually has smaller parts. But again, this is the dude that got in every single Spider-Man movie as a different character.
I didn't know that they were high school friends.
Yeah, they've been
I
making
didn't-
movies
no idea.
forever.
I
Like,
knew they've been
that's
making movies for a long time. I'm like, oh, high school?
yeah,
What?
and like
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that Sam Raimi's actually like gone to bat for Bruce Campbell for some things. I'm like, well, I'm using him anyways. Too bad, kind of thing. And he's a Michigan guy. They're from like
Oh,
Royal Oak, Michigan.
I had no idea. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, first cameo, which is hilarious, is he's just like
It's a
slinging
fun.
these pizza balls that look delicious. It's just like a food that's from a different dimension that's weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's something we can associate with, but it's something that's not real.
The norm to us.
You know, yeah. So it's cool, and he's slinging that, and he fucking pisses Strange off. And so Strange decides to kind of like in a fucking savage move, puts him in like a self-harm spell on him that lasts 3 weeks. Like American Chavez is like, oh, how long is that gonna last? Because instantly he starts like slapping his face and like hitting his head off the counter.
He's
like,
whooping his ass.
It's
He's
not
whooping
like
his own
super
ass.
aggressively. It's in a funny manner, but it's still like he's whooping his ass. Yeah, he's whooping his own ass like liar, liar in the bathroom.
I just thought the same exact
I'm
thing.
kicking my ass. But yeah, it's hilarious. And she's like, how long is that going to last? Like 24 hours? He's like, 3 weeks. It's
Yeah.
like, Jesus fucking
And then they
Christ.
walk away.
And then they walk away, and he's just whooping his own ass in the background. And you're like, oh,
It's a
well,
great cameo.
there's Bruce Campbell for you.
Yep. Because you knew he was coming in. It just when is it going to happen?
So they got it out of the way right away.
They did.
It was good. I liked it.
So we get to see they continue walking. So at this point, what they're doing is they're like, okay, well, if the Strange from the beginning of the movie with America Chavez in the air quote dream, they reveal that it's not a dream, but when as a person who's dreaming and you see yourself,
They are dreams, but you're not.
it's almost deja vu. You are seeing,
Dreams aren't what you think they are.
Yes, they are another universe.
They're
You're seeing the multiverse.
They're windows into yourself in a different universe.
Correct.
It's like a snippet of, which they call it dream walking, and I was like, well, that's a great. That you're nailing it. Like that's a great way to explain it. It's dream walking. It's you're seeing yourself in another metaverse as whatever you are in that universe, and that's so every dream you have is something that's happening somewhere else in one of the millions of universes or whatever.
So
Just cool concept.
Absolutely. And at this point, what they're doing is they say, well, I need to find the Strange from this universe because he could help us out with beating Wanda.
And I do want to say it's important to know that America Chavez is kind of hesitant of Strange because he the first time you meet them, they're running from the big like demon monster. You find out he kind of like betrayed her to get there.
Yeah,
And so she's like very hesitant of the Strange that's killed right off the bat in the movie. So going into meeting our Strange that we know, so I don't know what you want to call like
MCU
Strange. We know him as this good stand-up guy when it comes down to it, but she's very hesitant of everything he says because
the last Strange
that she met that was, that she felt safe with
tried to kill her.
Yeah, basically tried to turn on her. So that's like a big thing with their relationship, and she has to go with him because he's the only one that gives her the out. And then now, so they decide, well, if we get to another Strange, but they're always very hesitant of where they are, knowing that things can be different. And that's what I liked about it. They didn't go in very stupid of like, oh, this is me, or oh, we got to fight. You know what I mean? They were very kind of aware of what they were doing and things were going to be different. And like, again, for as much of a dumbass as Stephen Strange is of like, let's fucking break all of the metaverse for Spider-Man and some teenage kid because his girlfriend's mad at him and they're not getting into college. He's very smart in this movie of like taking practical approaches of dealing with things in the new metaverses.
Well, actually, to talk off of that real fast, I don't know if you've read that throughout the week, Kevin Feige did confirm that.
Yep.
Yeah, so because of what happened in Loki was the reason why. So if you haven't watched Loki, here's a spoiler for Loki as well. So they kill fucking Loki and Sylvie, who's another character in Loki. If you haven't watched Loki, they kill a character of very, very much importance to holding everything in the multiverse to the way it's supposed to be and guarding these timelines. And they kill this guy, so it allows the multiverse to go into whack.
Correct.
And because of this, it is an issue when Strange does the spell in No Way Home that allows unintentionally, he allows fucking people from the other multiverses to come into this one. So it's actually not Strange's fault that No Way Home happens the way that it does. It is for him doing the spell,
Correct.
But it wouldn't have gotten so bad if it wasn't for
true,
repercussions of Loki.
True.
So in a way,
but there's no saving of his character. He's still
absolutely
a fucking
not.
idiot for what he does. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But in this, I feel like he doesn't have too many like bonehead moves.
No,
like
he
he
does
actually
not.
is pretty responsible.
he's sounding clear, yeah.
Yeah.
But so on that note, they're walking, they're trying to find the other Strange of this universe, and they stop at this memory wall, and you get to see like
It's pretty trippy.
Strange has a memory, and it's just of him getting a watch from Christine back when they were dating, which isn't that important. But you get to see America Chavez use her power for the first time, and this is the part that fucking Saudi Arabia doesn't like, and that's that you get to see America Chavez. She's probably around
Like
10,
10 or
12,
11,
around that area, and she sees a bee that almost stings her or something like that, and she gets scared.
She's like she's out in the field with her two moms, like, and there's nothing. They're just moms because they're like they're like standing next to each other like husband and wife would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else there's nothing like that. Yeah, and a fucking bee.
And a bee
tweaks out.
Yeah,
America
and
Chavez.
so America gets scared, and when America gets scared, she opens up a portal to a multiverse, and the moms get sucked out into that multiverse.
Yeah.
And
that's
a
it.
short scene, and
That's-
Saudi Arabia doesn't like it.
And that's why it's banned. But good, again, that's why good for Disney to be like,
Absolutely.
fuck you, keep the money. We don't want it. Because it's ridiculous that's what's offending you.
Yeah. So after that scene, they find their way over to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and you see that there's a huge statue of Doctor Strange there.
Yeah, it's like a memorial.
And Doctor Strange is dead, and it says something along the lines of, thanks
He gave his life.
Be-
He gave his
yeah.
life saving the universe, fighting Thanos.
Thanos, yeah. And when they pan alongside that fucking statue, you see Mordo. The last time you saw we have seen Mordo was when he says, "I gotta fucking kill all."
And now he's fucking Mordo with the dreads and
Yeah,
shit
he's
too.
Mordo with
like
dreads,
Cool.
and
He's
he's
cool,
like-
Mordo. Yeah, dude.
and he walks up to Strange, and you're
Love
like,
him.
"Oh man, he's about to fuck Strange up," but he fucking hugs him,
Of course.
and he's like, "I'm so
because
glad
we're in the
to see you,
multiverse,
man."
baby.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
no,
he plays off that he's fucking Strange's friend. So they go into the Sanctum Sanctorum. They're talking.
And you don't really know. That's the
No.
thing, is like you're kind of like, eh. And Steven doesn't know what to say. So he says that he says when they kind of all reveal that they're all, multi, he knows that that's obviously when a Strange appears, he knows he's from a different multiverse. And he's like, oh, dude, the other Steven told me all about this shit. Like, I knew one day you'd show up. Like, I can't wait. And so, like, when Strange tells him about the Mordo in his universe, he kind of, like, misleads him on certain things. Because he's, like, you can tell they're both playing, like, chess in, like, trying to figure out if, like, they can trust each other. Because in their own universes, they had, whatever may be the issues.
So that was a cool scene. It was definitely a cool scene. And then, so Strange is fucking talking to him, and he starts. It starts to warp, like his vision starts to get a little hazy.
Yeah, they're having tea.
They're having tea, and his vision starts to get a little hazy, and he starts hearing things a little muffled, and Mordo's like, I drugged you.
Yeah.
So fucking Strange passes out. And this is when we see that it cuts back to the regular Earth where Wanda was at before America and Strange left. And Wanda's like, well, obviously they went to a different multiverse, so I have to find a way into that multiverse. And this is where they kind of introduce a little bit more into this dream walking. She uses the Darkhold, the evil book of magic that
Which
she
got from WandaVision.
in WandaVision,
Yeah.
that she's able to go into basically use the body of the other Wanda from the other universe as an avatar, but still have her powers and still have her knowledge.
It's such a cool idea.
It really is.
It's a really cool, like, dream monster, like, evil idea. It's badass.
So she goes into this. Finds a way into this, and this scene is fucking creepy. This is where she takes over the body of her other Wanda, and she's the Wanda in that
the
universe
droids.
is seeing reflections and she's seeing flickering and lights, and it's fucking scary. This is that horror movie element, another one that Sam Raimi brought in, and it's creepy. It's real fucking creepy. And she takes over this body, and fucking Wong, she has Wong tied up, and this other sorcerer who's still alive is like, you know, I'm gonna help you out. And he goes, well, we got to destroy the book. And she goes, nah, I'm gonna destroy the book. It can't be you. You know, you got to stay alive, which I understand. We don't want to see Wong die.
Yeah.
And so this bitch, bam, stabs the Darkhold book, and it's disintegrated, which I think is kind of lame that it was that easy to fucking destroy this book. But whatever, it is what it is. So Wanda cannot dreamwalk anymore because she doesn't have the spell, or the book has to be open for whatever fucking reason.
Well, she was like
can't.
reliant on the book. That's like all she had.
So she can't do it anymore, and she's out for the count. There's nothing she could do.
And that chick gets like turned into just like a fucking zombie fucking stone statue.
Yeah.
She instantly gets smoked.
Yes. So she turns to Wong and she's like, "You're the Sorcerer Supreme, so fucking find me another way so I can get into this. I need to be able to dreamwalk again." And he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna fucking tell you." And she goes, "Well, I'm gonna kill all the rest of these people who are still alive if you don't do it. And you're a good guy, so you're gonna do it."
Yeah.
And he says, all right, well, the Darkhold that you had was a copy. Here's the original. It's at this fucking, the ancient ruins.
Yeah, they were, the books were transcribed from the, like, writings on the wall from the, like, actual Dark Temple or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So he said,
which is cool.
That's fine.
Guess.
That's fine with me. Dark magic, witches and shit, if you want to get it from, like, hieroglyphics, fine. Yeah. That's cool. That's all right.
So this is where Wong is like, well, I guess I got to fucking team up with the bad guy so that she could be happy, and maybe this is buying Strange a little bit.
Exactly. You can tell that's kind of what Wong's doing. He's kind of just like banking on Stephen Strange is going to hopefully figure some shit out by the time like this gets really out of control.
So she fucking she starts making her way to this other place. These ancient ruins. And in the meantime, we jump back to this other Earth with Strange, and he wakes up inside this prison, and him and America Chavez are both locked up, and we see Christine. And Christine, this is the first time we're introduced to this new Christine, and she's like this head scientist in charge of fucking
multiverse. Like they're very the expert. They're very advanced in science compared to like our universe or the universe that we're used to. So like they know about the multiverses. They've done research on the multiverses. She like knows about Doctor Strange's artifacts and a lot about Doctor Strange and like the history, because like she knows where the book is kept and everything. You know, when he goes, when he needs that, and like so, it's not one of those things where everyone's figuring it out like we are in the usual MCU. Like these people have been studying all this shit for years, and Christine's the head of it. Yeah. She's the head scientist or whatever you want to call her. Mm-hmm. And she has red hair now.
Yeah, she does have red hair.
Yes, to like just be like, you're different. You're in a different metaverse. We're gonna give you red hair, which is fine. It could be something she's filming something else and was like, yo, I got red hair, and they're like, cool, dude, it'll work. I have no idea.
It's kind of what they needed for fucking Henry Cavill to have a mustache, you know?
Yeah. No, it's cool. It works.
But so this is when fucking Mordo comes back, and he's like, you're gonna be tried by the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. And when this came out, I didn't even know what the Illuminati was, but they have an Illuminati, and an Illuminati is just a fucking like a jury of like 6 people who are in charge of saying, you're fucking shit up, we're gonna kill you. Basically, they're keeping the multiverse at bay. And this is where we get some surprise characters.
Oh, yeah.
So the Illuminati is 1, Mordo. Mm-hmm. 2, Captain Carter. This is Peggy Carter. This is What If Episode 1. So if you want to watch that movie, or if you want to watch that episode, you will understand a little bit more about Captain Carter.
Yeah.
3rd is Captain Marvel, but it's Maria Rambeau. So this is
that's an interesting choice. It's cool.
It is Maria Rambeau. She is from the Captain Marvel movie. She is Carol Danvers' friend.
She's the mom of the little girl in the movie.
Yes,
and
the
she's
mom
also
of Maria Rambeau, who is in WandaVision.
Yes,
WandaVision,
exactly.
her
She's
daughter.
she's the mom.
Yes.
The mom.
Monica Rambeau. Sorry.
Is
Yeah.
Wanda.
Yes,
Monica.
Maria
yeah,
Rambeau
yeah.
is
which
this
is
person.
the mom of her. So yeah.
Yes,
Which is cool.
it is.
Yeah. No. At first I was like, "Who the hell's that?" And then after, like, when she started talking, I was like, "Oh, that's her friend." Like, that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. That's cool. Like, I was cool with it.
I don't know how she got her powers, but whatever.
No, same way as a regular Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's the multiverse. Yeah, she's
It's
just in the
multiverse.
Captain Marvel spot. Whatever. They couldn't afford Brie Larson for the day. That's what it was. She's doing too many Toyota commercials and fucking Jeep commercials.
Bro, she's getting in a fucking Fast 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then we have 4 is Black Bolt,
Yeah.
which is, I didn't watch Inhumans, but it is the actor from Inhumans.
Yeah, which is cool. Anytime they do that,
I
I'm
did
cool
notice
with
him. I did recognize him, but just from like posters that I've seen. And then 5 is introduced. These are the 2 big ones here. You want to introduce the last 2?
it. I mean, if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, the big one was like probably something that's been fan casted for years.
Yeah.
And that it's like everyone's like, yeah, well, that would be perfect, but will it ever happen? Because I almost got to the point where I was like, they're never gonna do it because everyone has like pinned him as like, well, it's got to be him, and we finally got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, just like panned over, and it was him, and it was like, oh, holy shit, they actually did
Yeah.
it. Like, he looks like the meme. All the Photoshop pictures you've seen of John Krasinski in like a Fantastic Four outfit,
Yeah.
he looks just like that. You're like, yeah, Mr. Fantastic,
That's,
sure.
that's fucking Reed Richards.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they were smart enough where all the characters said enough and a little where, like, they didn't, like, shoot themselves in the foot by doing it where it's like, oh, he was a really good Reed Richards, or, oh, he was a really bad Reed Richards. Like, he just had to
Yeah.
look like him, and he looked like him. So it was like, okay, yeah, I'm
It-
cool
yes,
with this.
It was
like,
just enough.
it was awesome. And then my favorite part, actually, was fucking Professor X
Yeah.
coming out in that yellow
Yeah.
1990s cartoon fucking
No.
wheelchair.
Now, when he comes out, and I told Sam this. This is if I could rewatch a clip over and over, it would be this clip. Do they play the animated song when he comes out? The da-na-na-na-na-na?
Danny Elfman purposely put in like that like beat to hit because
It's-
they did that. He
It's not on the soundtrack, and it pisses me off.
they did do that because I heard that and I was like, oh my god! And I've on Twitter's been going nuts about that too.
Have they?
Yeah.
Is
about
it
that
is there a video of it on there?
I don't think so yet.
I want
Probably
it.
not.
I want it.
I mean, probably by now. By the time this episode comes out, I'm sure there will be a video out of it. But yeah, that's on purpose because he was doing that shit in the original Spider-Man. In the when they were doing like original Spider-Man shit, they were dropping like subtle Spider-Man beats.
Oh,
and
little
upsweep.
motifs and
correct.
such, yeah.
And so it was the same thing when you saw the X-Men. They did the like.
It was wonderful.
It was amazing. It's classic.
Fucking wonderful.
Yeah, and Professor X was still Professor X. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually super happy that's the only, like, X-Men that we saw.
Yeah.
Because I was worried that this was going to be the movie where, like, we're going to stop in a universe and all of a sudden it's going to be kind of like Deadpool, which Deadpool does it on purpose to be funny. But, like, if you open the door and, like, it was a bunch of X-Men, I was so scared we were going to get, like, them
Okay.
doing that. Like, and they didn't. It was just Professor X coming in, dropping some fucking Professor X knowledge in his OG chair. And I was like, cool. Like, perfect. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
It was great.
And, like, his mind powers were cool, too. It's not like
Yeah.
the normal where he just was invisible. It was like
he puts his
like
hands
an
on.
Aquaman, like, Echo, like...
He puts his hand in the show,
Little,
like
like-
the animated series. He puts his hand on the fucking 2 sides of his head,
and, like,
Or-
these little, like, psychic bolts kind of come out in, like, waves. It's really cool.
and he's using his powers. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was my favorite scene of the entire show, of the entire movie. Is seeing Patrick
was
Stewart
really cool.
reprise his fucking role.
And I read an article about him, too, because my whole problem with, like, seeing, like, Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine is as soon as you see him come back, you erase everything Logan stood for, in my opinion.
Okay.
You erase everything that movie means. And I saw in an interview recently, Patrick Stewart said that he was worried when they approached him about this because he said Logan means so much, and what does this mean now that this happens?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact he said that, and then I saw how it was done, I was like, that's very respectful, where it doesn't feel like Like it's fine. They didn't blow, like they weren't riding the coattails of Professor X in the scene or anything like that. He felt like he fit in that scene, and it made sense. So I was really happy with it. I'm happy where they left it. I'm cool. I think all the characters they introduced looked really cool costume wise. I think they all had cool costumes.
I didn't care for the fucking Fantastic Four suit.
Really? I liked that.
I
thought that was like
it.
super hardcore, like comic booky.
Now
like,
that was
it was like like the black or like the dark blue like patches and black patches and shit. I thought it was like very Fantastic Four.
It looked too Will Smith Hancock for me. Is what I initially thought, and I fucking hated that movie. So.
You also like Fortastic, so
I do like Fortastic. I'll defend it. So that and I'd explained to you beforehand before we started recording that that was the one spoiler I had. So on Twitter, this was the one thing that leaked a few days ago before this movie came out, was that it was a screen cap of that scene, or not a screen cap, it was a shot of that scene, and you see Black Bolt, Monica Rambeau, and or Maria Rambeau and fucking Reed Richards standing there, and you're like, oh! So I knew John Krasinski was coming. I knew, and it was, and I'm not fucking upset. I love spoilers. So
no, I think, yeah,
so
it was awesome.
But something about the scene which makes me question what's happening now is that, okay, so if you have a dream, if these people in this universe have a dream, that means that there's basically every single universe has a Stephen Strange.
Correct.
Which means that there is a fucking Professor Xavier in our universe as well. All these characters have another person, so we have them, and they already exist in our world, in our MCU. How are they going to introduce these fucking characters?
Well, that's exactly why they're doing it this way.
Or
now they have a way to introduce them without having to cover. They can do it much more easily now.
The hardest thing is, like, where have they been is the hardest part.
You rely on that fucking snap like a motherfucker, man. I'm telling you, that's going to be, from years from now, they're going to be using the snap to cover up shit, because they can. You can cover 5 years in the snap, and when you're dealing with X-Men, you're dealing with kids in small gaps usually. So, and Professor X is just an old guy, so it's like he can just be old forever. You know, you could say fucking 10 years, 15. You know what I mean? Like, you could they're building it so they can finally get them in when they're allowed to, because that's all Kevin Feige wants to do. This all started as I want to do an X-Men movie, and they said no, you can't, but you can do other Marvel stuff, and he was like, okay. And he's still trying to do X-Men. So you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing that he's taking care of.
Finally got Fox to give it up.
He's taking care of and getting that into a place where he can kind of organically bring that fucker in, because you can tell that's what we're getting at.
And they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I'm fucking stoked to see what's going on. I mean, we all saw this in the trailer. We heard his voice, so we knew he was coming. But
yeah, the scene itself was cool.
It was still cool.
It wasn't the Michael Keaton fucking nuts. You want to get nuts? It wasn't that. It wasn't. No, it was a good scene.
It was still subtle.
It was subtle. It was cool.
Yeah, and his character's great. But
and,
so
I mean, that whole that whole little snippet of the movie, this whole little part, it was my favorite part of the entire movie. When Wanda shows up, like, that's what I came to see.
So this is where they cut back after they introduce all these characters. They do cut back to the world where Wong and Wanda get to these ruins, and she fucking. This is another scary scene. This is another jump scare scene where these fucking rock monsters that worship her. She turns to the right, and it's fucking right there, and it's a jump scare, and it was another element that I felt it was like in the first Spider-Man movie when Spider-Man goes into the fucking burning building, and you think that there's an old woman there,
and it's
Green Goblin, and the way he turns, you're like, fuck, you scared the shit out of me, and that's how this was, and it's like, way to go, Sam Raimi, you know, bringing it in every one of your movies. But they get to this So they get to these ancient ruins, and Wanda gets the original version of the Darkhold, so she's able to do this fucking dream walking again. So she goes back to the version of the Earth 838, and she starts dream walking into that Wanda, and she flies right over the Illuminati. I'm not sure how she knows where the fucking Illuminati is. I'm not sure how she knows where America Chavez is. Kind of a gap for me that I was like, okay, whatever. I guess I'm gonna accept the fact that she knows where to fucking find her. But okay. So she's on her way back to find the fucking Illuminati and to fuck up America Chavez and Strange. And in that time, they're explaining to Strange that his version of Strange for this world did not die from defending.
Yeah, that's
Thanos.
I think, and that's the big like switch of all of this is like Strange goes to them to be like, "Yo, you have access to the book. I need that book so I can take out fucking Wanda."
Which is funny because in that scene is where they go, "We'll take care of Wanda. Don't fucking worry."
They were like,
about
if she shows up, don't worry. Like that's the least of your problems.
We're the
like,
Illuminati.
You're the fucking issue in all of this. So
Yes.
you're actually on trial, buddy, because like your Strange was a menace, and we don't,
They say that. So their Strange from this world got hold of the Darkhold, and he was using it for good. He was using it because he wanted to defeat Thanos. And he did, but he did also realize that what he had done, he had become more corrupt.
Yeah.
And he had started an incursion. And an incursion is when you're using two different universes start to mold together. And during that happening, it could either get rid of one of them completely, or it can destroy both of them. So because the Illuminati was like, well, we don't want our fucking world to be destroyed, so let's just get rid of the person who's fucking up everything with the Darkhold. So they kill that Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And that universe as well. So it's revealed that Strange is not good, and that's why they kind of want to kill this Strange, our MCU Strange, because they're afraid
they don't even
that,
want to take the chance.
Yeah, they're like,
no.
well, all Stranges are fucking bad.
Yeah.
And this is when we hear the fucking sirens going off, and our Strange is like, that's Wanda. And they're like, ha, okay, let's go take care of this shit.
Favorite part of the movie.
Everyone leaves besides Charles Xavier and Mordo. And fucking Wanda's coming in, and she's fucking everything up. She's fucking taking out all these. There's like Ultron cops that are there.
they're like service bots. Yeah.
And she's
Sentinel
fucking
vibes.
Sentinel vibes for sure.
Yeah, and
she
she's just
starts-
covered in oil and shit.
Yeah.
Like a horse. She looks like Carrie. She's just like
She
covered
does.
in oil.
Sam said the same exact thing. She
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I got
Again,
Carrie vibes
it's
for sure."
it's just your classic horror like monster walking through like lights broken like it's like when Doc Ock wakes back up in Spider-Man 2.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
It's that same. It's Sam Raimi knows how to do quintessential like, oh, this is a horror image. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. But she was covered in like oil instead of blood because it's Marvel. You know what I mean? It was cool.
So this is when like I said, the half the Illuminati, more than half the Illuminati comes to Wanda, and they're like, Wanda, they're like, Wanda, we're gonna whoop your ass.
They basically like give her a chance to like give up. You know,
Yes.
like surrender, or else this is gonna get ugly really quickly.
She ain't having it. Do you want? Let's go in order of these deaths.
Yeah.
Because she fucking kills him.
Yeah, dude. And
So
so
the
the first one, my jaw literally dropped because I was like, oh, okay. Like,
So-
this is what I was.
Explain his power too.
So Black Bolt.
Black Bolt.
So Black Bolt is kind of like, it's much like kind of like Black Canary in a sense, where like it's super.
His voice.
His voice is like a supersonic, like waves or booms.
Yeah.
Or something. Like I said, it's a lot like Black Canary, but like she like screams and sings and shit. And like he kind of can just talk and like fucking blow you away and do different shit.
And Reed Richards says that he's like, with one whisper, he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, she's like, with one whisper, he can fuck you up. And she's like, well, it's hard to whisper without a mouth. And they do the classic like Matrix. You go back to him, and he has no fucking mouth.
Yeah.
It's just like
And he freaks out.
And he freaks out. So he yells to try to break through it, and his head literally just pops. And the only reason it doesn't physically explode on the screen is because he's wearing the Black Bolt costume is like a fucking suit that goes over his whole head.
Yeah.
So you see it just like pop and then just kind of
Implode
mush
in a
down,
way,
and then
yeah.
he falls. And it's like
It is graphic.
it's that moment where you're like, oh, this is the type of movie we're gonna be in, and that's the movie I was hoping we were gonna get. I was
Yeah.
like, dude. Let's go. This is what we're talking about, which you can take the next death. So, yeah, Black Bolt literally gets popped, boom, like that, and it's like, oh. And they all have the moment of,
Yeah.
Oh.
Shit. They all look at each other like, fuck, we're gonna have this fight, and we thought that Black Bolt had it. So fuck, what are we gonna do?
Yep.
So the next person is Reed Richards. Reed Richards goes at her like, Wanda, come on. And you get to see a little bit of his power.
Yeah,
You
and
get
they
to
don't
see him stretch.
they don't overdo it.
Yeah,
it's
nothing
very
crazy.
minimal.
He fucking reaches for her, which I don't know what the fuck he was going to do anyways. He's not that strong in my opinion. Maybe he has some fucking powers that I don't know about, but for what I saw, he was going to grab her with his long arms, and that's stupid. She turns him into spaghetti, basically. Like fucking...
Yeah, it's one of the more funnier ones. He just turns and he just starts unraveling and just, that's it. He's done. Bye.
He's
See ya.
fucking dead. And that jumps over to the next person, which... Who dies next?
These two I I think it's...
It's Peggy.
It-
Because the shield goes.
Well, I know how they both die. I just don't know
she
which one's
dies
first.
next.
Yeah, she dies
So
next.
Peggy's cool. Peggy was cool because
She puts up a fight.
They get in a fight like true Captain America
Yeah.
type status. She puts up a fight, and then fucking Wanda gets a hold of that shield and literally throws it through Peggy.
And
like
this
you
is cool.
see the
You
cool
don't
cut
see-
of like she throws the shield. You see Peggy's face and the reaction of like she got hit with something, and then you don't see Peggy again, but you see a bloody shield sticking out of a concrete wall.
Yeah.
So you know, like, oh, that just went through her.
Yes,
at high
and her
speeds.
fucking body like slides
That's
a
what I'm
tiny
saying.
bit
Yeah,
too.
you know
Like
what
they
I
give
mean.
that like
Correct.
They give that
But it's not like
misdirection
super
type thing.
The big graphic one's the Black Bolt. That's the one that's like holy shit.
I think Peggy's was still graphic because
the shield's what
Well, no,
gets it.
you hear like the flop of the body hit the ground, and I was like, ooh. You hear two flops, like you know she's split in half.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind I was like, ooh, that's fucking graphic.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the next person who dies, which is Maria Rambeau. She puts up a good fight against
Some
Wanda.
Captain Marvel bullshit.
Some Captain Marvel shit, like hitting her with some fucking energy beams or whatever.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like she loses her power for a moment because she's laying there, and then this fucking statue, because they have the statues of the Illuminati, like fucking 20-foot statues, just falls on her and crushes her.
Yeah, Wanda just fucking
And
takes her down.
And you see her fucking hands standing up underneath the rubble and then fall. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah,
you know
so
she's dead. But
yeah.
it almost seemed like another graphic thing. Like, I didn't need to see the hand. But when you showed the hand,
No,
it
you want
made
the
it
hand
real
to
in a
make sure everyone's
you
dead.
made it
Yeah,
real in a way, and you were
it's to
like,
confirm
oh my
she's dead.
gosh, this is fucking killing. This is death. And in that time, Mordo is talking to Strange, and Strange is like, they ain't coming back. Just so you know, like,
yeah,
you
he
can
t- yeah,
you can uncuff me right now.
Because
We
that's
could-
the whole thing. Strange is cuffed and playing ball and basically like, look, we have a fucking issue on our doorstep, and I know you don't believe me, but like this is going to become a real problem in a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
So you need to start making some decisions.
So he and what's really cool is he starts pissing off Mordo because he knows Mordo's got
Yeah, that's
power.
when he starts like telling like the
Yeah,
fake like
you were
stories.
fucking jealous of
Yeah,
me,
he's
weren't you?
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool fight that they have.
No, they do
I
have a
really
really
like
cool
the
fight.
choreography for
Yeah.
this.
Well, because
fight.
Strange handcuffs Mordo to like because Strange gets one of the cuffs off, and handcuffs Mordo to himself, and then they're like fighting each other.
They can't use their magic because these cuffs.
Correct, because they're cuffed to each other, so they're like just straight up fighting each other
Yeah.
while cuffed to each other. It's pretty cool.
Which I feel like we've seen. I can't name one off the top of my head, but I feel like we've seen movies where people fight while they're cuffed together, and this is a
they do
really
it. They do it in the Daredevil TV show a couple
Okay.
times. Yeah, it's
Still
like
gotta watch
really,
it.
really
Still
well.
gotta
That's
watch
the
it.
best like choreography, martial art type fighting by far.
This was a cool fight.
But that's
though.
like it's a lot like this shit. Like it's just hand play and like cool
Yeah.
moves that reverse other moves, and that's what the fight was. It was really cool.
They find a way to. Strange finds a way to fucking break the cuffs in half, so he gets away, and he finds. I forgot to say that before he leaves America Chavez, he tells Christine like, "Hey, if anything goes south,
don't let anything happen to her."
yeah." And
Protect her.
she has that because there was a relationship, but not like a romantic relationship, but he, just like our universe, there is something between them, an unspoken love connection between
Yeah, and he's
Christine
dead.
and him.
He's dead in her, so she's lost him already.
So she's like, I'm gonna do what he says, basically. Like she's got it in the back of her mind. So she saves America Chavez, and she meets up with Strange after he gets away. And in that time when they're running away is when we see Patrick Stewart. We see fucking Professor X. And this scene is cool because he uses his powers and he goes into the mind of this Wanda, and he could see that the fucking owner of this body is trapped by this evil Wanda, our Wanda. And he's trying to pull her out because he's convinced that as long as you get out, you can fight this Wanda in her mind and take your mind back. And our Wanda gets into this mind. She's already in this mind, but she gets in this mind. And
it's a cool place. Like, he's walking. It's classic. Anytime Professor X does a like mind thing, he's walking, and that's what I love too.
Yeah,
he's never
I
in a
love
chair,
it too.
and they do it in all the movies too. Like that's like how it is when he's not in. He visions himself when he used to be able to walk.
Yeah,
and so he's walking around in just like this rubble. Like it's like super Matrixy of just like all white room and a couple things of rubble, and like you see Wanda, another jump scare when she fucking shoots her hand out.
yeah,
and
that's what
like,
got Sam.
Yeah,
she jumped so hard.
That was a good one. That was a really good one. And yeah, it's just that idea of like he's in this like mind realm of the witch trying to free this like normal sane Wanda that's trapped supposedly like under all this like rubble. It's cool. It's a cool way to do like I'm in your mind type bullshit.
So she fucking, the smoke rolls up.
Yeah.
And she's coming, and she's right behind Charles Xavier. And she fucking snaps his neck, and you see this neck snap, and it's graphic. This is another one of these things that I'm like, this is the most, like I had said in my air quote spoiler-free review, this is the most graphic Marvel movie. This is the most gory Marvel movie. Like
movie for sure. I think like Punisher and Daredevil still have it beat pretty heavy-handedly as far as violence and Punisher, not even a question. But even Daredevil, like that's some fucking like real violence. Mm-hmm. But for a movie, like a Marvel movie, this by far was, Jordan, shout out Jordan. The only thing I read before I came to this interview, because he just finished the movie, or not interview, this podcast, he just finished the movie as we started recording. He just said, damn, Sam Raimi really did say, fuck them kids, dude. Like, that is, you could tell he was like, all right, this is perfect time for me to say, this is like Sam Raimi's dream movie. They told him like, yo, you can make a comic book movie and you can make a horror movie. Like, all in one.
Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say I have to respect him, even if I don't think this is the greatest movie of all time. Like, this dude literally got to make the movie he's been making this type of shit for fucking decades, and he still can do it, and he's still, this is the movie he wanted to make.
Yeah.
Like, it was even, like, the cheesy lines, everything about it is just, like, this bleeds Sam Raimi, and the little horror elements is how you know, like, oh, yeah, this is fucking
And he
Sam
actually
Raimi.
took 10 years off before he made this movie. I didn't know
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
And it's like, way to go, man.
He just recently said about Spider-Man 4, the studio was pressing him to do Spider-Man 4, and he said, I made compromises with the studio, for Spider-Man 3, and it's fucking terrible, and I don't want to do a disservice to the fans again, so you guys probably should go reboot the character and go somewhere else. And he walked away from Spider-Man 4 because he knew it took him so long to do 1 and 2, but he was so confident in what he was doing in 2. 3, he knew what he wanted to do, but he didn't have it there.
Yeah.
And they forced him to kind of just do it because, you got to hit the deadline. You got to put the movie out. And he took that to heart, that it kind of flopped and not a lot of people like it. And so he was like, I'm not doing another one again because I can't do the fans what they deserve. So
way to
that's
go,
what I'm
him.
saying.
Fucking
so
way to go, Sam.
So then to now come out X amount of years after that, and especially in the climate that we're in now of like, if you make a bad superhero movie, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi just being like, yeah, and I'm going to do it my fucking way. Like this, it's unapologetically Sam Raimi.
From what I hear too, that I believe Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios did give Sam Raimi like full reign. I think he had all the creative decisions he wanted.
Well, I think Sam Raimi's been involved in like the creative development of a lot of things for a couple different things over the years.
Okay.
I think he's always kind of in the mix. I think he's one of those guys like a lot of people like Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Like in the industry kind of thing.
So I think the last thing he did was Drag Me to Hell, which I enjoyed.
Could be right. Which again, if you see that movie, it's like, yep, he did the. Yep, you see Doctor Strange, you see that, you're like, oh, yep, there's that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yep, I love it.
So, yeah, so she snaps fucking Charles Xavier's neck, and she starts going after Strange and America and Christine.
This is the last thing I'll say about this little part before we move on, because this is really. this is where after this part I start to like lose kind of things in the movie because I wanted so bad the next hour of this movie to be those two running through different universes, coming across these different characters, like cameo type characters, and Wanda smoking all of them. Okay. I wanted it to be like a horror element in this, like they go to this next universe and there's like a fucking, I don't know, Spider-Man shows up, you know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit, this uses Spider-Man, and then Wanda shows up and just fucking smokes him. It's like that I wanted so bad.
So would this have been a cool time to show us a Deadpool that she just fucking kills?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted. Like I wanted now the chase for them to kind of be outrunning this monster that's kind of, and it did kind of turn into that, but was outrunning this monster from all these different universes as it's following them, and we see a bunch of other. Because once I started seeing the cameos, I was like, okay, if they're gonna do it, and they're gonna do it like this, where they're just gonna kill them all, where it's not like, oh, it's like we're just gonna smoke all these people. Mm. It's kind of like having Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2. Okay, it's like you can have a big name star if you're gonna kill him in 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, this is gonna be awesome, and we never really got that again.
We didn't get more. Air quotes, multiverse of madness. There
Correct.
Could have been some
you know what
more,
I mean?
There could have
like
been some more multiverse.
That's what I was hoping for, like, you know, a couple more jumping and just quick, like, oh, we got to get over here. And then it's like, oh, we're at fucking someone's house. And it's a, you know,
we could have seen some different styles as well. Like,
correct. You know what I mean?
Went back into that anime
one,
like you said.
Again, and that's what I was saying. That's where I think this part of the movie did it perfect. And I was like, damn, if you gave me another hour of this, like, I would have liked this so much more.
I mean, it seems like, from watching them all, I mean, most Marvel films seem like they kind of not fall apart in the third act, but the third act is where they kind of start slipping.
Yeah, they lack a little bit.
And this is, I guess this would be where the third act starts.
I agree. I do think the third act in this movie does slip a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it starts to kind of be like, okay.
No.
It's like, okay, yeah, you wrap it up and you answer it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, you know. But
and it's not awful. It's not awful, yeah.
Again, yeah, we're nitpicking, but like I said, this was by far my favorite kind of scene and sequence of Doctor Strange and being like, oh my God, this is the movie I actually thought we were going to get, was like, once they made Wanda the bad guy, just like fucking wiping through heroes that we are supposed to like not used to being seen die, like I was hoping we were going to get more of that.
That could have been cool. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is where, like I said, they're America, Strange, and Christine are running away from Wanda, and Strange told Christine, like, hey, I heard the Book of Ashanti's here. Where's it at? I need to find where it's at, and I know that my Strange is the one that hit it. So show me how to get there. And she's like, okay.
Which was cool, because this is when you know that, like, Christine is very versed in, like, Doctor Strange relics and shit like that. You know, like, all that shit that's hanging around the museum or at the Sanctum.
Yeah.
She knows all about their catalog. She knows about them, and she knows where they're at. Like, that's what's cool when you realize, like, oh, she knows all of this shit.
Yeah.
So
they get to this. I really like this scene because it reminded me of some, like, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers shit, because Wanda's like 15 steps behind them.
Yeah, I know.
15 to 20 steps.
Walking the whole time.
And she could have just fucking hit him with some fucking...
Yeah, it's just the classic walking slow, like, break that door.
Yeah.
Door, it's like throwing the table behind you, hoping
and it is very horror film, and I'm like, it's cheesy, but I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, this is some horror element shit that I'm going to accept.
Yeah.
And
no, exactly. That's what it is.
It's
a horror chase sequence. You know, sometimes you get car chase sequences in action movies.
Yeah.
This was a horror chase sequence. It was like, all right, we're going to put them in a tunnel, in a sewer, and throw some fucking doors in the way, and Wanda's going to just keep getting closer. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was cool. It's whatever.
We're going to have them be right on their coattails.
Correct.
And fucking, yeah. So they get away from Wanda for a moment, and they open up this hatch that we've seen in the trailer, where they open up this fucking hatch door, and they're standing there, and the Book of Vishanti is right there, and they fucking jump down, and he's getting it, and fucking Wanda shows up. I'm sitting there, and he's grabbing this fucking book at like 1 mile per hour. I'm like, just grab the fucking book,
my buddy
dude.
Next to me, shout out Bub. There's a couple times during the movie where Bub was just doing like this.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything, but I could tell by his body language he was like just fucking do it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is that bullshit horror stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking run. Like, just do it. And I could tell. And like I said, he never really said it out loud, but he was just kind of like, it's like, okay.
And
like,
it was moments before
let's
where
go,
we were
bro.
just talking about the tunnel and the
Yeah,
sewers where
yeah.
you're like, he's waiting for her to come through that last door, and you're like, just fucking go, dude. It's that fucking. It's the Drake meme. Just go. Like, that's all I'm saying.
This is what classic horror movies are all
Yeah.
about, dude. It's that being angry at the screen, yelling at it because they're not getting away
Yeah.
from the monster.
So they get to the Book of Vishanti, and he's fucking grabbing it super slow. Just when he grabs it, fucking Wanda hits him with whatever fucking red light that she throws at people, and the book just fucking disintegrates. And you're like, dumbass, maybe if you would have grabbed it faster, you could have fucking started using it. But aside from that, he kind of knocks fucking Strange out, knocks Christine out, and Wanda has this opportunity to start taking America's powers again. And while doing that, I believe Wanda gets a moment where this is how this portal opens. Not because America's scared. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it because America's scared, or does she get those powers for a moment and opens the multiverse portal herself?
Yeah, because she
throws.
Yeah, because she
Strange through.
It's both.
Yeah. Well,
It's a little bit of both.
From what I saw, I thought that Wanda was able to use those powers for a second, open the portal, and she throws Christine and Strange through it into another universe.
Yeah, and then she's in hers.
But it's Wanda doing this, not America being scared that opens the portal.
I don't know. I think she got scared and the portal opened, but then Wanda grabbed her and started controlling it.
Okay.
And
I don't
then
know.
kicked them into the incursion.
We've only watched it once, so
Yeah, whatever. They get thrown through the portal.
They get thrown. It's
gonna be a long ass episode. So they get thrown through the portal.
They get thrown through this portal, and they go into this fucking. They're in this New York, and it's fucking dark and destroyed. And this is they're at another square one where Strange is like, well, let's go find the other fucking Strange. There's got to be here somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they find the sanctum, and it's a scene that's in the trailer, but it's not in the movie, where this Sinister Strange is like, things got out of hand or whatever it is. He doesn't say that in this movie, which I was like, when the fuck's it coming? It's gonna come. Okay, so he must be coming back to the scene, but they never do. But it is this sinister, dark type Strange that we've seen kind of hinted at in the What If series.
Yeah.
Where he's just fucking disheveled.
That episode's so much. See, that's the thing, is like, that's where I say I wish I almost didn't watch What If before this.
Okay.
Because once I watched what they did with Doctor Strange and What If, I was like, if they don't do this in the movie, like, they're missing a huge fucking, like, this is what, so like, part of me going into it was like, damn, this is going to be just a revamped version of that, because that's so good.
But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But that's what I was saying, is I almost wish it fucking was. It would have been a better movie if they took a lot of those elements, because that's a great fucking Doctor Strange alternate, like, horror sad story.
I see what you're saying, but if they would have done it, as well, you'd have been like, very fucking original. Why?
Well, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
So
that's the problem.
It's a damned if you do and damned if you don't.
But that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where I would watch the Doctor. If you haven't seen the What If Doctor Strange episode, I would watch it after you watch this movie.
And then the last two episodes, because you can see how fucking powerful that Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
is.
well, that's true. That's a different. That's the difference when you're paying CGI in a real movie versus like animation where you can go Super Saiyan fucking Goku mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier to draw it than make it happen.
So they find this Doctor Strange. They Christine kind of stays outside, and Strange walks upstairs and talks to this Strange, and he goes, our Strange talks to this new Strange,
who's just like an emo Strange.
We'll call him Sinister Strange, is what I've been reading. His name is Sinister Strange, and so our Strange talking to Sinister Strange, and he's like, "Hey man, I need the Darkhold. I know that you have the Darkhold.
Well, because there's like a portal ripped open in the sky and shit too, like a big like black hole almost, where like you can tell like things have really, really gone wrong, and like magic and fucking all sorts of shit is affecting it, where it's not just like a nuclear bomb went off or something like that. Like Doctor Strange, this universe's Doctor Strange has been dabbling, and it's been like fucking everything up around him. Yeah.
So he R. Strange says, like, I need the Darkhold. I need a fucking dream walk back into my reality. And I need the Darkhold to do that. And he's like, nah.
Yep.
Ain't happening. So they have a fucking fight, which is the dumbest.
No, he said, unless you give me Christine.
Yeah, he's like, if you give me your Christine
Yeah.
from your universe, I'll give you this fucking
Phantom of the
Darkhold.
Opera shit, dude.
Yeah, and this is the dumbest fucking cool scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Fucking R. Strange gets knocked back and he sees that there's music, there's sheet music, and decides I'm gonna start
so
fighting
dumb
him.
and corny, but at the same time, it's like really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's
like Danny Elfman wrote this piece of music and he's like, we need a fucking
they're
we
throwing music numbers, and R. Strange is throwing like crazy good, nice action beats, and then the other guy's throwing back like organ creepy music,
Beethoven
like,
symphonies and shit. Yeah,
like
Yeah.
it's fucking ridiculous.
it's really stupid, but it's cool.
but it's
visually
also kind of
it's
cool.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
visually
saying.
it's fantastic.
Again, Doctor Strange. It's weird. It's strange. I don't know. Ha ha ha.
And then so before we move on to the who wins in that fight, which we know who wins in that fight, but were you like really upset? Because I fucking laughed at the third eye that happens.
Yeah, it's weird.
It looks so fucking fake.
Yeah, it's
in a
weird.
movie where we just saw an alien fight in the streets
Yeah,
of New
it's
York.
weird.
I was like,
it
this
is-
fucking
I
this
agree.
third eye looks so fake. It looks like they fucking used paint from Microsoft fucking whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Like, it
I
looks
think
so
I think
stupid.
part of the problem is if you introduce a character and he doesn't have the eye literally appears out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and it's there, and it's just like, oh, that's kind of weird because it looks like it's just magic effect there.
Yeah.
Like if we had met that Doctor Strange and his hair was like in front of his head,
Mm-hmm.
and then he moved it and there was an eye there, it sells it a lot better, in my opinion. We didn't
Might
get
not
that.
look as bad as we think.
Because you see that direct shift of it just popping up, it was almost like jump scare-ish.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a
I can see
jump
that for
scare.
sure, yeah.
That if you introduce it more naturally and like all that, I feel like it works a little better. But at the same time, too, I wasn't a big fan of the third eye. It is what it is.
No, yeah, it just looks super silly.
Yeah.
So R. Strange beats Sinister Strange. He throws him out the fucking window.
It lands
and
on a fucking fence, dude.
Yeah, a
Badass.
steel- and it was another
It's
graphic
badass.
thing. You
It's
see
badass.
this death happen.
You see
and
him
you're like,
hit the fence.
"Whoa."
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's fucking it's another graphic one.
It's cool as fuck.
So R. Strange gets the Darkhold.
Yep.
And it's a point in the movie where you're like, okay, I understand that dream walking is when you use the body from that universe to be in that universe, to not astral project, but to use as an avatar. But you're like, well, the Strange from that universe is here right now, so what the fuck is he going to use?
Yeah.
In a perfect tie-in that you forget about from the movie is
Yep.
that the Strange that died in the very beginning of the
Did
movie,
they go
the opening
out of the
scene-
way to bury, which seems like, what are we doing with this? Like, this is weird in the moment when they're burying him.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, then out of nowhere, they call back to it. It's like,
He's like, you don't need a live body.
and we get the most fucking Sam Raimi, like, 80s, 90s fucking zombie arm breaking through the goddamn.
Pocus shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus. Fucking, this was literally when I was like, this is Sam Raimi's dream movie. He's literally getting to make a superhero zombie movie.
Yeah,
and they even look
absolutely.
like his like Sam Raimi style of zombies. Like he has a certain style of how his zombies kind of look if you look
they
at his
do
movies.
consistent, yeah.
And that's what Zombie Strange looked like. He looked like a literal Doctor Strange from Evil Dead. Like it was crazy.
Yes, it was cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Again, it's fun horror. They're not supposed to be like Walking Dead zombie. Like these are.
No.
It was gross looking, but they're not. They're not supposed to literally scare you to your core. There's something kind of fun about it, and it was interesting. Like it just breaking through the fucking ground and lightning and all the bullshit, man. It's just classic. It was
So
Sam Raimi, man.
yeah. So Strange gets this body and he is dreamwalking. He is in the regular realm in this other realm where the Sinister Strange was at, and he's fucking dreamwalking in our MCU world.
The world we started in.
Yes, to fight Wanda, and he is Wong sees him, and Wong's just like, well, that's strange. He
Yeah.
must be doing some
I
shit.
don't even want to know.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even want to know, but I'm accepting it for
because
what
again,
it is.
Wong's so many weird things that
Well,
Wong just doesn't
Wong's
give a
like
shit, man.
Yeah, Wong's at this point, like, every time I tell Strange, like, don't meddle with fucking time. He's gonna meddle with time, and like, don't fucking do that. I'm gonna do that.
So he just takes it as like, okay, you are probably the right Strange.
Yeah.
Let's just do this. I don't care. You're a zombie. We'll figure all this out.
So then he
Because Wong's also hanging off a cliff for like 2 hours of this movie. He's like fighting for his
Yeah.
life, hanging off a cliff, like working his way up. So you kind of just keep getting snippets of like Wong coming back in.
So fucking Strange makes his way over, and Wong is helping out fight Wanda, and he's got Wanda like held up in this fucking sphere, and he's like, hurry up.
Which they've tried once
he-
already.
and he
It's
tell-
the second
and-
time they put her in a bubble.
Yes, and Wong tells Strange, just kill America, like take her power so that we could use it against Wanda. She doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah,
we
because
can.
when she captures America, she puts her on like almost like an altar, like in the middle of like
Sacrifice.
yeah, it's like a sacrificial type thing where you can tell she's gonna drain her thing. So she's like fucking knocked out, like not really knocked out, but like laying there bound to this like chair,
Like you said, altar, like
altar
yeah.
type thing. So yeah, so the Juan and Strange are having this conversation of like, hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's her
But-
or all of us.
But Strange is like, no, the last one did this and it didn't work out.
Your
So
typical superhero
yes,
moment.
This is his fucking. This is his pep talk. This is his fucking halftime conversation that he has with America Chavez, and said like, it's been in you the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
You just need
yeah.
to know how to do it, and it happens. And you're like, okay. The only part that gets me through this, like, okay, we don't want to see somebody learn how to use their powers so fast, but something that makes me see around this issue a tiny bit is the fact that she's probably 19, 20 in this movie, maybe, and she's had this issue since she was maybe 10 or 11, 12, like we said, when she first uses it. So I'm like, okay, she has somewhat of knowledge of what's going on in some way. It's enough for me to accept that, okay, she maybe learned how to use some of this right now.
Yeah,
And some people would say, yes, it is too fast, but I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it.
14.
She's 14. She's
14 years old.
Well, then how old was she when she fucking used the power for the first
I
time?
would assume she was like 8, because you're bad.
I'm bad with
judgment,
ages,
but-
I guess. Well, still, from 8 to 14, that's still a time span that I'm like, okay, I'm willing to let go with the fact that...
it
It's a
is.
sentence he says too when he says you've been taking us where we needed to go all along to like get up to this point. So in the back of your mind, you have been knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, so there's some type of... There's a line in there that helps you get past the fact that, okay, this is a huge fucking jump for this character. But it's acceptable. For me, it's acceptable. Some would say that it has some issues. But this is where America fucking stands up to Wanda and starts kind of whooping her ass. She opens a portal right behind her, ready to push her into like a hell type portal.
Yeah, the
where
punches were cool too. I liked her punches, like when she punched him, you got the like shatter, like star. Everything she did was a star, which is
Yeah.
it's kind of stupid, but it also ended up being kind of cool. And I know that's probably how it is in the comics. Like, so it's like I get it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, her like star punches were kind of cool when she
They
was
were.
just like fist fighting, doing that shit. But
So it's like a Terminator 2 type thing where she's got one more fucking hit or one more gunshot to get him in the lava.
Yeah.
Like this was that moment, and she's a step away, and she can't fucking get it. So that's she realizes, and she says it out loud. She says, "I'm not strong enough to beat you, but I'll give you what you want then." So she opens a portal back up to the fucking the universe 838. And shows her.
She was 6, by the way.
Oh, she was 6. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So she's 6 when she first uses her power,
whatever.
and 14 in this time. But she opens up this portal back to 838 to where she had taken over, where the Wanda had taken over the other Wanda, and this Wanda's with her kids, and our Wanda scares the shit out of her kids because she fucking knocks out the other Wanda, the Wanda that's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And her kids are staring
Well,
at
and
her.
they come fucking busting through the living room in a goddamn portal too. It's
Yeah.
not like she walks in the front door, like all of a sudden they're watching TV and like a fucking universe opens up in their living room. Like it just scares the fucking shit out of the kids.
So these are Wanda.
And Wanda's all knocked out, or their Wanda's knocked out.
Yeah, so our Wanda knocks out their Wanda, and the kids are terrified. They're like, "Oh my gosh, mommy, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm your mother. I would never hurt you."
And they're not having any of it.
No, they're not. They're like, "This bitch is crazy," and that's when she realizes. She goes, "No, I would never hurt you. I would never hurt a kid." And you, that's when she kind of realizes,
Now,
like, "Fuck, I'm about."
I will say, I think we skipped over one of my other favorite parts.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, bring it back.
I could be wrong though about Stephen Strange harnessing his zombie zombie like abilities. That's before, right? That's when they're all fighting.
Yeah, there's like these demons.
So I thought one that was really cool, like when she was like, "Dude, you're of the dead and you're the master of magic." Like, fucking put 2 and 2 together and figure it out. And then he takes all the demons and harnesses them into like his energy and turns them into a fucking demon cape.
Yeah,
and the demon cape was awesome. I just want to make sure that gets its shine.
It almost reminded me of like a Spawn cape.
That's what I'm saying.
It has like
We've
a
always
life
seen
of its
the
own.
like magical cape had this personality, but like when he literally took all these demons that were trying to kill him and turned them into like his magic, and then now they're just like his cape that like flies him around, and like the like it would like flow like a normal cape would, but you'd see like the head and like the arms would pop out real quick and stuff. Super cool. So I just wanted to make sure we shouted out Demon Cape and like the necromantic
Demon Cape.
The necromantic like magic that Zombie Strange was using, because it was so fun. It was like it was a legit like horror superhero. Like
it
very
was
Spawn-like.
It was really
cool.
Mixed with Death Eaters.
Yeah, it was like
Death Eater. Yeah, it was really really cool. So yeah. Anyways, back to Wanda ruining fucking kids.
Hashtag Death Eater
making
Demon
kids
Cape.
have therapy.
Death Eater Demon Cape. Yeah, so she's terrifying these kids, her kids, and she goes, "No, I would never harm you. I'd never harm a kid." And she has this realization of like, I am harming a kid. I'm trying to fucking kill a kid to get her powers. Yeah. And she realizes like, yeah, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna kill this mom and be here like with these kids that don't want me? They want me. Like,
yeah. Again, this is where I have that moment of like, yeah, we knew that this was gonna happen, and it was just kind of like it happens, and it's like, yeah. But again, it's kind of an ending that I'm kind of like, okay, because it's like it's like the same problem I had with Black Widow of like it's a problem that solves that you're just kind of like, okay, like I guess like I'm glad we got through that, I guess. But at the same time too, it's like the amount of repercussions and all this. Like, my one buddy was saying that, like, when you're taking over these avatars, like, she's committing mass murders with all these different Wandas and shit like that. Like, you gotta, like, now that woman's just gonna wake up and be like, oh, I was fucking possessed. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, think of all of the universes that are just getting completely fucked up, whatever this Wanda's been dreamwalking and all that. It's just like, there's a lot that it's like, okay. And then you're just like, okay, I'm done being crazy again. Like, no, you did that for WandaVision. And we saw what happened now, so now you can't just be like, "Oh, damn, I went too far again." Like, no, you did this 6 months ago, dude.
Oops,
like,
I did it again.
Dude, like, what the fuck, Wanda? Figure this out, man. So it kind of made me mad, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and again, it's not really Strange like beating the villain. Like, he does, but it's not.
I agree.
It's not the same of like fighting an actual like villain. Like, he's fighting an Avenger gone bad. Like. It's like Winter Soldier in a way. Like, he's, you know, Cap's never going to take a shot at Bucky for real.
No.
Because he's trying to save him. That's what Strange is kind of doing. Like, Wanda's clearly trying to kill Strange, but it's not the same way back.
No, he's holding back, but
he is.
I think as a superhero, you kind of have that mentality of, I can't kill her, I gotta maim her so that way I can take her
I
in.
agree.
Like,
so it was.
I can see the justification for it, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So this is where, like I said, this Wanda realizes that what she's doing is fucking wrong, and she leaves this fucking universe, and they go back to our regular 616 Earth, and she's like, I don't want anyone else to be able to use the Darkhold again, so she fucking brings down this entire ruins.
Yeah, and
just
that's the end of dark
and
magic
she
for now.
kills herself, I guess. Do you think she's dead?
No.
I don't think she's dead either.
Fucking way. And she's one of the ones that like loves being in these movies too. Like she's always like, "Oh, I love being Wanda. I love doing this. I love doing that." So like they're not going to get rid of an actor like that where there's like Jeremy Renner who's like, "I'd pay you to write me out of this shit." Like, and they just won't, Like that's the difference.
We're giving you a show.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, great." Like, yeah, no, that's the difference. So she's definitely not dead, but it's just, again, that's just how they kind of ended this story. I feel like it was a way to give. No, there's gonna be some fucking her hand shooting through rubble or some bullshit.
Well,
Dark magic saving her ass.
On that note, with the multiverse, is anyone actually dead anymore?
Correct. That's my problem. That's been my problem with the multiverse. Like I said with Logan, as soon as you start doing this, you devalue when actually you do kill a character. Because yeah, it's never going to be that character again, but this is Rick and Morty. Like, it's the joke Rick and Morty make all the time is, like, when Summer gets killed, it's like, you killed my sister. He's like, yeah, but we can just get another one from a different universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's not the same, but yeah, she is. And it's like, once you get over that, once you, like, realize that, it's like, oh, okay, deaths aren't going to hit as hard anymore. So,
no, absolutely.
That's, like, and now they're opening this can of worms where,
they
like,
those deaths don't
hold
the weight that
characters. It's like anyone that gets killed now is kind of like, well, he could kind of show up as this or that, and and there aren't. So eventually it'll hit, but that initial impact of the death isn't gonna ever feel the same because you're always gonna be like, well, he could come back in a year or two.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't like because I'm a glutton for emotional punishment, and I like tragedies, and I like things that when they happen, it's terrible and you feel that loss because that's part of it. That's how it is. That's realistic. That's life. That's what I like. But again, this is fucking superheroes and Marvel. So
it makes it so that, these deaths and these losses that we've had don't hold the weight that they do.
That's my problem. Like I said, as soon as Logan comes back, as soon as Hugh Jackman comes back as Wolverine, it erases everything Logan stands for. And that's the epitome of, like, we're taking a superhero story seriously and ending this journey. Mm-hmm. And, like, you get rid of that when you do this shit. So it's, I don't know.
Which, in reality, we haven't really, outside of Iron Man and fucking Natasha, we haven't had big
many
losses.
Like deaths. No,
I mean we had Yondu, but Yondu wasn't a huge
that one hurt me. That one hurt me more than fucking Widow, dude.
Absolutely. But it's in the realm of like characters we've been following.
I agree 100%.
The only losses we've actually had is Natasha and fucking and Iron Man, Tony. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we haven't had many that they could erase or bring back that we're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah.
I'm waiting for the multiverse Terrence Howard, dude. Bring back Big Bad Rhodes, dude.
They bring back.
Come on, man.
Edward Norton pops up out of nowhere.
Dude. And Eric Bana.
Get them all in a room,
dude.
Bring it in. Yeah. So Wanda kills herself.
Yeah, getting back to this. Wrap this up.
Wanda kills herself, air quotes, and fucking Strange wakes back up out of the zombie body in the fucking sinister Strange's sanctum with Christine, and he basically tells her like, hey, in all the universes I love you, just so you know. And
yeah, they have that moment of like Steven says what he's always wanted to, and Rachel kind of gives Christine. Rachel, I was thinking Rachel McAdams. Yeah. Christine kind of gives him the whole like, I get it, but it's never going to work, Steve. Like, this is how it's
you always want to hold the knife.
This is how it's always
going
to be. Yeah, it's kind of the thing he's always needed to hear, but never, you know what I mean? Like, so it wraps that up. They know that they have to kind of go their separate ways.
And then America shows up in the portal, and you assume that she puts Christine back into her regular and brings R. Strange back into his regular. And we start seeing this movie wrapping up. We see all the sorcerers rebuilding the Carmitage, which is the dumbest shit I've ever seen because they're doing it with like tools and shit. And I'm like, use your fucking magic, idiots!
No, they got a hard labor. That's how you learn fucking personal character. Correct? Yeah, dude.
Ain't no
that
fucking
builds character, bro.
Nah,
builds character.
Say we've seen him fucking, and then you see him rebuilding a watch, not using magic. I'm like, those screws are so fucking tiny. Just use your goddamn magic, dude. But whatever. We also see
the fact that like the entire sanctum of the like universe, the most powerful magical book, was hidden behind a mechanism activated by his like watch. Kind of fucking lame. I mean, it's like all right, but it's like, are we watching National Treasure here? Like the watch Christine gave him, which very personal, means a lot. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But Rolex probably made 1 million of those. So if anyone showed up with that watch, they could have just opened the goddamn sanctum. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was a special key. It was
No.
just like the size of that watch. He's like, oh yeah, let me. You know, again, it was like kind of corny. I was like, oh, it's so fucking corny, dude. But
Yeah.
again, whatever.
I never
just wanted to
even
bring that
realized
up.
it like that. But like, yeah, there could have been. Oh shit! Do you have your Rolex on? Because we could use your Rolex.
Correct.
Cool.
Like, you know what I mean? It was just the shape of the watch that was
Yeah.
the key. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't something like, break the broken watch and there's
Yeah.
something hidden in there. No, it was just like, oh.
So in the midst of everything being rebuilt, we do see that America is training to be a sorcerer now.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess. But at the same time, why the fuck do that if you could already just like have a
I don't.
superpower? Like, I'm not going to sit and learn that if I can just fucking bounce around universes. Like, I can do my own thing.
Something that we failed to mention that I just remember now is that they do, or did I mention it earlier? That so America is the only person in all the multiverses.
Oh, we didn't mention this. We
that
should have.
can do that has her power. She's the only person.
She's
the
the only
America.
version of herself.
Yes.
There's no other. She's the only one in the. Everyone has a clone of themselves in different multiverses
Yes.
except her. There's only one America Chavez.
Which I'm sure that will turn up to be a lot more important later on as
Yeah.
well, because he's like, well, why don't we just ask another America Chavez? But yeah, so she's learning to be a sorcerer now. I'm kind of upset that there was another cameo that I wanted that didn't happen. I was expecting to see Shang-Chi in this movie, perhaps in the background, because he had ended with Wong, which I don't know where they went. I don't know what the fuck he wanted at the end of the Shang-Chi movie when Wong shows up and he's like, we need you to come with us. So I was a little disappointed. I wanted to maybe see him in there doing some shit as well, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not upset about it, but I think it would have been cool.
It's also a pretty long movie too, so like, I could see them like having to wrap and make decisions of like what we're going to include and what we're not going to include.
Yeah.
Because like it's pretty long.
Strange and Wong are talking, and Strange basically says like, "Oh, thank you, man," and he bows to him.
Yeah.
There's a reoccurring joke that people are supposed to bow to the
Sorcerer's.
the Sorcerer Supreme, and so Strange finally bows, and it's a funny thing because every time somebody bowed to Wong, I was like, that's
Well, and
funny.
Wong would always look at Steven like, see, I'm not
Yeah,
lying.
like-
I'm not just trying to make you bow. Like, this is what people do. Because when the British, like sorcerers show up, they
Yeah.
all bow, and he looks at him like, told you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
this is customary.
See? This is custom,
And
yeah.
Steve refuses to bow to him. It's hilarious.
And it was a nice
Yeah.
little thing. Strange fixes his watch, and it seems to be a fucking happy ending, and Strange puts on a fucking normal button up shirt and leaves
does.
the sanctum, and
Nice day out.
he starts walking across the
Nice day
street.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he starts
he's in
walking
Brooklyn.
across the street, and he fucking grabs his head, and and he starts yelling in agony in the middle of the fucking street, and he looks up, and we get to see that dumb ass third eye again pop up out of nowhere.
And the movie just
ends,
dude. It's
and you're
classic,
like, what
horror
the
movie?
fuck?
Think of Drag Me to Hell. How does Drag Me to Hell end?
I love the way
How's
Drag
it
Me to Hell.
end?
She actually gets dragged to hell.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like that ending of where you think the movie's kind of over, and he's just like, "No, not yet." You know what I mean? It's quintessential. Like, and then you're like, "Oh, so he's possessed, or his mind is now fucked because he's been dealing with this."
Because he fucking used the dark hold for fucking 12 minutes.
They warned him,
20
"Don't
minutes.
touch that fucking book, bro."
We'll see.
Yeah,
He didn't, at least he didn't. I mean, if what happens is he gets a third eye and he doesn't have to have the fucking booty digger fingers, like fucking black all over the fingertips.
Oh,
like, look
yeah,
like you
they-
pick
yeah,
your
they-
asshole.
Yeah.
That's
he
all
did
I
have the
thought every
black
time.
fingers.
Every time I saw the black fingertips, I'm like, damn, like just wash your fucking fingers, dude, or wash your fingers.
It's evil
That's
corruption, bro.
That's what I thought every time. I was like, go wash your fucking hands. That's how the movie ends. There is 2 after credit
is.
scenes in this. One of them is way more important. The other one's a joke.
Both of them are okay. They're nothing
Yeah,
like they're.
it's because you
Marvel
don't
after
understand.
credit scenes don't hit like they used to.
They don't.
They don't. They just don't. And I don't know what that means, but they just don't hit like they used to, man. They're just not as big and grandiose as they used to be.
No, I
don't know.
There's a
man.
few that I still that are newer. Like I was cool with the Tom Hardy Venom thing at the end of No Way Home.
Yeah, but again, it's still nothing like crazy.
They're just fun now.
I like all the Guardians ones. I like the one with Adam Warlock. However, if you don't know who Adam Warlock is, you're like, what the fuck
Correct.
did I just watch? And this is how this movie's was. So the after credits, one of the after credits scenes in this movie is, so Strange is walking. I'm assuming this is after the events of the very last scene where the third eye comes out, because this Strange has a third eye as well.
Yeah.
But he's walking around with his cloak as an infinity scarf. Super fucking weird, but whatever. He doesn't leave his house without his fucking cloak.
Yeah, bro.
So he's wearing it as a scarf, and you hear a voice who's like, Strange, and you turn around, and the wow factor is that it's Charlize Theron.
Yeah, dude. I was like, holy shit.
They got Charlize Theron to come into this universe
man.
now.
That's
and,
crazy. It's a heavy hitter.
They don't say her fucking name until you get to the end credits where they credit her, but she is credited as Clea. And she basically says that Strange made an incursion and they need his help. And she literally takes her fucking, I don't know if she uses a hand or
It's
a
like
knife.
it reminded me of like Psylocke, if you know X-Men. It like reminded me of like Psylocke. Like it's like a purple like fucking hand saver
aura
or something.
something.
Yeah, and she just fucking like it's like an energy or something.
She
I don't
literally
know.
slices the fucking
Hole.
the air like it's a page in a book,
and it looks like Dormammu land.
it's a dark dimension.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Can you help us out?" And he's like, "Unless you're scared." And he's like, "Nah, I'll do it."
Yeah.
And you see the third eye, stupid ass third eye, one more time, and then they close this movie out.
Yeah.
Until the very last scene, which I'll let fucking Tyler.
Yeah, it's Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell being like, "Oh, this would be funny." It comes back to fucking Bruce Campbell, like a very tired, beaten man, bruises all over his face, and he's like slapping himself still, but he's been doing it for 3 weeks, so it's like really light, like it's just he's dead and beat, and then all of a sudden he just stops, and he's like, "It's over," and then the movie ends.
Yes,
it's
which
like,
is
oh,
nice
it's
because
funny. It's
the movie's over.
He's telling
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
get the fuck out, leave. So it's funny. So
And that's that was the end.
That's the movie.
That's it.
it's a long movie.
It was, and so it did end with saying Doctor Strange will return. When do you think we're going to see Doctor Strange again? Do you think we're getting a sequel, or are we going to see him in Avengers?
No, we'll see him in a mashup before he gets another movie. I think.
Okay.
We'll see him like, no, I don't know if it'll be Avengers, but he'll come in. I think that'll be his last solo movie for a little bit.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
2.
exactly. He's gonna bounce around in some shit.
Yeah, I'm excited. So did you like this movie?
I did. I don't think it was like great or like blew my mind. Like I said, I respect Sam Raimi. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think I had a pretty good idea of what I thought we were gonna get, and we kind of got that. But overall, like I think it was awesome. I don't think it was like I hate saying it, but like it's the easiest because it's most recent to me. But it's like it's no Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's no Batman to me. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's different. It was like I like to see them at least have the balls to try something like that. Like it gives me a little hope to see it's not all cookie cutter.
Like I said, it's not the best Marvel movie, but it's not the worst Marvel.
No,
movie,
exactly.
by any
That's what I'm saying.
means.
By
So,
any means, it's better than
No.
a lot of Marvel movies.
Yes.
So yeah. No,
When do you
I
think
agree.
we'll see America Chavez again?
I think they're gonna build her in pretty rapidly. I think they're gonna start introducing her pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her in like you were saying, like the Spider-Verse type shit, like the animated stuff. I think because she's a character not a lot of people know of in general, and
Yeah,
it's like
no.
newer in general. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna have to start ramping her up so that they can use her quite a bit.
It's hard to
doing a
know,
bunch of
like,
shit.
because of everything being canceled or moved around schedule wise. It's like, what are we going to see next? I know there's like talks of Secret Wars, and there's talks of like Shang-Chi 2, and they're talking
That's the
about like a
problem,
Young
too.
Avengers. So I'm like, I have no idea.
Everything
what
they're
is
getting to
actually
the point
coming.
too where they've already done the big team up movie, and now everyone has their own individual kind of movies and team ups and branch off. So now it's going to get to the point of kind of picking and choosing what you want to follow and like things like that. I think not everything's going to be as super integrated as it has been, where like
Yeah.
everything mattered for the next one. And like I said, this one, it ended and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, the world was in danger, but at the same time, it was just really some like Doctor Strange Wanda shit. Nothing else really changes in the MCU grand scheme of things. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think we're going to get more and more of that. But America Chavez is your fucking meal ticket, your MacGuffin, if so be it, to be like, well, yeah, but she can bring you to a different multiverse. It's
Sam,
like, okay,
how
boom, there
old
we
is
go.
the actress who plays America Chavez?
Oh, she's probably like 20.
I was just looking up because
Can't find it?
no, she has been introduced before. It was a 2018
She's been introduced
movie
in 2018.
called Marvel Rising: Secret Warriors.
Animated?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
it's-
animated
it's-
movie.
Yeah, I guess it's Powered Teens, Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, American
Yeah.
Shot. So she
Okay.
is been introduced-ish.
Well, yeah, she's in the comics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's new.
So we already talked about our. So Sam gets that. We were talking about our favorite scene. It's the Illuminati scenes. Basically anything with the Illuminati.
Yeah, like I said, I really liked when
16.
She's 16, playing a 14. Okay, wow. Okay. Cool with that.
I really liked when she was like fucking the superheroes up, and it was like, oh, this just got R really quick. Like this just got like really real.
Yeah.
I loved it
For sure.
I thought it was cool.
That was my
And like I
favorite
said,
shit, too.
Anytime Strange was using like the monster magic, I loved it, and he didn't do it enough. That's what it, like like when he was turning like the snake heads and shit like that. Like all that shit was really cool to me.
Okay. Yeah,
I'd like to see more of that.
I cannot wait for to either see this again in some way.
Yeah,
shape,
it's
or
one of
form.
those. I think if you watch it again, you're gonna pick up on a lot of shit kind of movie.
Yeah.
So first
my favorite
reaction
scenes were
is it's kind of like a blur. Your first reaction because there is
Yeah.
so much shit that happens, and it's a very fast paced movie because they're always kind of on a time deadline, and they're also kind of like outrunning stuff most of the time. So that it's very quickly paced. A lot of things getting thrown at you rapidly, but
Would you have liked to have seen anything different in this movie?
like I said, I would have liked less of like Strange and Chavez like running around different universes, like trying to
Okay.
put together the mystery of, but more from running through different universes, running from Wanda as Wanda just like wreaks havoc as she comes through them with them. That's what I would have liked to see.
I would have liked to have seen. I thought with the route that they were going was when America opened up that portal to the other Wanda. I thought it was going to go like an Injustice type thing where that Wanda was going to fuck up our Wanda. She was going to be the only one that was going to be strong enough to kill
Right.
the other Wanda.
Right, yeah.
I thought that's where they were going. I was on board for that. And then when it was just like where she's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry." I was like, "Fucking bullshit." I hated that part. So, last question pertaining to this movie. Where would you have stuck a Stan Lee cameo?
Ooh.
Sam, you can answer this as well.
Definitely when they first started like fast traveling through everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when they were like blowing through all those fucking universes in succession, and they hit the paint universe and that kind of shit. Like he's easy to throw him in as something big there.
That'd have been cool. Not something big, but like something just in general to put him in there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they'd have went the route of like, if she would have started just fucking up all these different characters going through the multiverses, like he could have been a version of somebody.
like Doctor Strange turns into Stan Lee wearing the Doctor Strange costume. You know what I mean? Like that bullshit.
Or
Yep.
he could have been a really fucking old Wolverine or something.
Yeah,
People were like,
correct.
that's
Yeah.
pretty.
Spider-Man,
okay.
like Grandpa Spider-Man. Like put him in a
Yeah.
Spider-Man outfit.
He's Uncle Ben and he gets killed by fucking Wanda or something. Like that'd have been interesting. If I had to put Stan Lee somewhere in this movie, I would probably have made him somewhere in Christine's wedding in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Not a bartender because he's already been a bartender.
He could be the officiant.
That'd have been cool. That'd have been nice.
Or like giving Christine away, like Christine's dad or some shit. Like
Or-
walking her down the aisle.
Fuck, I was gonna say he's already been a bus driver, so I was gonna say he could have been in the bus where like America Chavez is, where Doctor Strange ripped open that bus to get America out. He could have been the bus driver, but he's already been a bus driver in Infinity War. Where would you have placed him, Sam? Do you think of anything?
At the end of the movie when they are rebuilding and while America's training and everything like that, it would have been funny for him to just look around while they're rebuilding everything and being like, I'm too old for this. I'm getting too old for this shit. Trying to clean up everything.
That'd have been funny. So now let's do our rankings of this. Best Doctor Strange film? Do you like it more than the first one?
I don't know. I'd say it's right around there for me. Like, I like them both pretty equal. Because I wasn't crazy about the Strange film. I wasn't crazy about this film. But I think they both kind of are different and serve their purposes for kind of what we're doing.
I liked it better than the first one. I thought it was at the topper. Like, if I had to split the MCU, I would definitely say that it's
Yeah. Like in the top half.
yes, it's in the top
Yeah.
half. So
I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair as far as like
well,
where
top middle. Top middle is where I put it. So like if I had to split the whole, that was my next one, is that where would you toss it into the MCU? If I had to split the MCU into being a top, bottom, and middle, I put it in the upper middle is where it's at.
Nice.
Not quite just the middle, but
Nice.
upper middle is where
I think that's fair.
What is your all around? I know you don't.
Let me hold on. Let me end this right here. Let me ask you. What is your all around grade for this movie? Because I know this is the question you like most. That I do not. I never have the right answer. What is
as a whole? I'm giving this movie a B.
Okay.
It is not a B plus. I'm giving it a B.
It's fair. Yeah, I think the B C range not in there. I mean, it's probably better than a C movie. I'd say it's probably like a B.
You do B minus, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's like I said, it was good. It wasn't anything crazy. I mean, it was crazy, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm giving it a B.
It's good for Sam Raimi.
It's
good for Sam Raimi. It's a Sam Raimi movie. I'm glad people can still make the movies they want to make and let their style shine, and that Marvel's not just some cookie cutter forced industry.
Yeah.
Which 25 movies in, it could be. So
yeah.
It's nice.
That's Doctor Strange, people. That's Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. And I recommend it. I recommend you guys go see it. It's, like I said, it's not the best MCU. It's not the worst MCU, but it's a very enjoyable movie.
I will say, too, it is cool to see on a big screen because there's very spectacle and all that, but it's not one, I think if you waiting for it to, like, come out, I think it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no.
It's not like, go see this in theaters right now. I think it is, like you see a lot of cool shit because you go through universes and special effects and stuff, but it's not one that I think you need to go see like right now unless you're worried about the internet spoiling shit. Because by the time you've listened to this podcast, I'm sure the internet's already running rampant with Doctor Strange shit. So it is what it is at that point.
I would like to assume that the next two films that are coming out for the Marvel universe is going to be Thor coming out in July, and I don't think that's going to be influenced by this at all.
No,
so it's not like you have to see this.
Yeah, no.
And then in November, hopefully still in November, will be Black Panther 2, and I don't think that's going to be influenced by this
not
either.
At all. I don't think so.
We should be good that in the movies come out on Blu-ray or digital format after like 2 or 3 months. So if you want to wait 2 or 3 months, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah.
Come back and revisit this.
Yeah,
podcast.
you got some stuff to watch before.
Yeah. We'll move on. We're going to head off to our read, play, watch section. We're going to talk about some things that we are reading, some things have been played, and some things that have been watched.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start us off with something that I've read that I really, really like, and Sam could attest to this. This is the comic series. This is DC versus Vampires.
Oh, yeah.
And I told you about issue 1. So this just took you can take a look at these.
Are these all the...
These are the first 6 issues.
Nice.
They're taking a break right now. And...
Oh, that's cool.
So this story...
Damn, man, I'm going to have to go buy these.
Well, you're going to get a book. The book... They're going to have a book of the first 6 issues.
I don't need these.
I get them because I don't want to wait, and the covers are fucking cool.
But you're right. I can just get a book. I can get a book.
So,
I don't need to do that. I actually really like this, though. This one I like a lot.
That's really fucking cool.
That's cool.
Cover art's really cool. They've done different variations of our superheroes and some villains as vampires. Some of them are vampires in the comics. Some of them are not vampires in the comics. But this is literally what the title is. It is
how come number 5 doesn't have a cool cover?
Because I did not get a variant.
Oh, so these are variants?
Those are variant copies. They're $1
What's the variant
extra.
of this?
I don't remember. I think it was Two-Face.
Really?
And Two-Face wasn't even in the fucking comics,
Damn.
so I was like,
I kind of like these variants though.
The variants are really
If
cool.
I don't get the... can't go down that road. Take that.
So this is exactly what the fucking title is. It is DC versus vampires. Vampires are trying to take over the world, and they have infiltrated the Justice League, and some of them are vampires, some of them are not vampires.
Yeah.
And
You'll have to read to find more.
Yes,
you'll have to read out to find more.
Go.
My fucking
no
team,
spoilers.
My team right now is telling me just fucking stop talking, but I'm not gonna stop talking yet.
No.
This is a very good series. The art is fucking awesome. The writer is fantastic. It is James Tynion the Fourth. He's been writing some of the Batman issues. He wrote some of the earlier Batman issues. He's moving on to. He's doing Nice House on the Lake, which is something that I recommended in the very first episode that I did. And I cannot recommend. In the episode or in issue 6, I fucking cried. I laughed, and I told Sam, because Sam has a bigger pile of comics because she gets a little further behind because she's busy momming. So I was like, "You gotta fucking stop what you're doing, and you have to read this issue 6, and we have to talk about it because I need to talk about this with you because it is so fucking good." So I would say in about a month or so, they're going to have the book that has all 6 issues in it. And I could not recommend it to anybody more. It is one of the best things. You don't have to read anything beforehand. This is called
and that's what I actually like about it.
This is called the DC Black Label. That means that it's its own entity. You don't need to read anything beforehand to understand what's happening. It's just its own fucking story. And I love this.
Cool. For games, for play, I'm actually also playing something. Gonna talk about something that involves Vampire Survivors, which is a game that just came out this year. It's like $2 on PC, Steam, and it's like an old school retro type game where you just try to survive as long as you can as waves of like 8-bit little monsters come at you, and you have to collect gems to just keep powering up and see how long you survive. It sounds very dumb and very simplistic, but it's highly addicting, and it gets super entertaining in the late game because it's just a lot of lights and bells and whistles and crazy shit. So I've been playing that on Steam recently.
That sounds pretty cool. I'll have to watch you play that.
Yeah, I think you've seen it.
That one?
Yeah, it's like one of the little character.
Is that the Van Helsing one?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
That was badass.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what. Yeah, I just said I was acting
intense.
like. Yeah, it gets crazy. That's what I said. It's called Vampire Survivors.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, my title was just I Am Van Helsing. Like for my stream.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically that's all it was. It's cool. It's intense. It's fun. It's addicting. Like I said, it's more of a chill arcade style type game. Which is it's fun.
Yeah, because like you had said, it was made this year.
It's one guy started the game, and then now he has like a team of a couple guys working on it because it's blown up and gotten popular. But it's super simplistic.
It looks like a Game Boy game.
Correct.
It looks like you said, it's retro thing, and it's really fucking cool.
It's cool, and like I said, if you are on it is only unfortunately on PC at the moment. It's not on any consoles, but it's literally $2. It's a $2 game.
Yeah.
So it's like that pays for itself. That's easy. And the other thing I have is just some news, kind of. The Lego Star Wars game that's been very successful, the Skywalker Saga. 2 days ago, or a couple days ago, was the first kind of season of DLC came out, downloadable content. So Mandalorian Season 2 was the what they offered, as well as the Bad Batch. So that was your first introduction. I think they have 4 seasons planned right now. They haven't announced what's going to be the next stuff coming out, but it'll probably be, some other, like, it'll be like the Book of Boba Fett or some shit like that. So I haven't checked them out yet, but I do have them. I have the DLC. So
did you beat the Skywalker Saga?
No, I actually took a break from it because I got into Vampire Survivors.
Well, I know how. It seemed like when I was watching you on your Twitch, I was like, okay, he's fucking making his way through.
Well,
this
that was
stuff.
the problem too. I was going way too fast. Where I was like, all right, I got to slow down, or I'm going to be done in Star Wars in like a week, and I want to kind of stretch this out. So yeah, if you
some good self-control.
Yeah, I'm trying because I gotta, when you stream, you're trying to think of content and what people want to watch and shit like that too. So I was trying to do an episode, kind of a stream, so people could kind of keep up and watch it if they wanted to. But so that's the thing. Yeah, if you want to check it all out, Gambit the Goon on Twitch. We're actually encroaching 10,000 views. We're very, very close to 10,000 views. So that's kind of cool. We're trying to get there. Yeah, come hang out and fucking talk some nerdy shit and play video games.
Hell yeah! I'm new to the whole Twitch thing.
Yeah,
Like,
you've been
I'm
hanging
not-
out in chat.
Yeah, and I'm not streaming or anything because I don't play games.
Yeah.
But it's what's really cool about it is that, and you had mentioned it to me, like it's made for people like me,
Yeah.
like who are not good at playing video
Or
games,
just don't want
But I'm
to.
interested in the story. I'm interested to know about
Yeah.
the shit about.
And then you see like Twitch chat, you get to talk with people, and they're
Yeah.
kind of talking, and you get emotes. I got Batman little emotes and shit you can make. So it's a good time. It's fun to hang out and
It is.
kind of stop by or lurk if you're doing something in the background. So.
Yeah, it's cool. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
I'm
enjoy,
glad you're
I
coming
enjoy
by.
watching you fucking
So,
play
yeah,
the games. So I'm like,
there.
oh, that's sweet. And the watch, and so there's two things that one I don't really recommend, but one I do. So I did get the chance to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that came out, and I do like it. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I actually went and saw it with Simic. Simic likes this one more than the first one. I enjoyed the first one more.
I like the first one. I haven't seen
It
this
was
new one
fun.
yet.
It's
Yeah.
a fun movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
I enjoy the first one more.
I think the kids liked this one more.
Yes, my girls, I'm just gonna say Amelia's 4 because she'll be 4 this month, but 4 and 6, and they really enjoyed the second one.
Nice.
They they like Knuckles.
Oh, everyone likes
They like
Knuckles,
Knuckles and they like Tails. So they also like Sonic. Not that they don't like Sonic, but they like Knuckles, Tails, Sonic. They like the characters. I all in all give it like a 2 out of 5 is
Okay.
what I'm giving it. Where I would give the first one like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. So it's, That's it's not a bad recommendation because that'll
No.
be coming to video soon.
Yeah, it's got to be within the next 2
That's
months.
what I'm saying. Yeah, very quickly.
The second thing I watched, which I just watched yesterday, or I finished yesterday, and I made Sam start watching it today, is a movie called Fresh, and it is a Hulu original. It's actually a Disney Plus original. Disney made this movie, and that's why we all had that how Disney Plus switched from like, oh, is this an adult profile or is this a kid profile?
Yeah.
So Disney made this movie Fresh, and it is like American Psycho meets HelloFresh meals. It's about this character who just kidnaps. It's in the trailer. Don't tell me to stop.
Okay, I haven't
He
watched
kid-
the trailer 'cause I'm like,
He
don't
kidnaps women and he takes parts of their body to sell as meat, and then he puts them in boxes and ships them off to people rich people so that they could eat human meat. But this character that Sebastian Stan plays is so charismatic and he's so handsome, and you almost, just like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, you're like, I gotta hate him because he's a bad guy, but I love him. He's such a good character. But I watched this movie and I'm watching it again with Sam within 24 hours, and I give this movie like a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's very funny. It's a horror comedy. But yeah, Disney made this movie and they released it overseas on Disney Plus, and that's why you had to have an adult profile to watch it. But in America, they released it on Hulu, so you guys could watch it on Hulu. It's as long as you have Hulu, it's fucking free. It's a Hulu original, or Disney Plus original. So check it out. I cannot recommend it more. Like I said, it's a 3.5 out of 5, but it is fun. It is entertaining. It is a good movie. It's cinematic. I recommend it, guys. Check it out.
Cool.
Have you? I don't think you said that you watched anything worth recommending.
No, not really. I mean, things I've
Yeah.
revisited that are good things. Nothing like, oh, this is something that you wouldn't know about.
Yeah.
Type thing. I've just nah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was catching up on What If. I was trying to get What If.
Yeah,
out
you
of the
did watch
way.
What If.
So I
That's
watched
right.
What If. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And I liked it. I liked it.
You watched it in a fucking day too.
Yeah, I did. I watched it all in one day.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed that as too. But it nothing that like blew my mind or was like I've been gaming a lot. So
Yeah. So our closer, our topic for our next episode.
the next episode that we are going to do will be on May 20th, and it's going to be our Fancast Friday. We kind of did it at the end of the TMNT episode, but we are going to Fancast Hercules. We're going to do the 1997?
Yeah.
Yep, version of Hercules. So the Disney kind of musical version, we're going to do that. If that was live action, we're going to Fancast that.
Yeah.
Kind of we'll talk a little bit about the movie. We'll talk about scenes and characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, because it won't be quite like the Turtles, where we're going to do a huge deep dive into Hercules.
Not a scene by scene.
No, we're not going to do something like that. But we're going to kind of just talk about Hercules, things we like, things like that, and then we're going to get into just fan casting and spend a little more time on like just discussing the fan cast and the actors and playing around in that kind of fun space. So that'll be May 20th.
May 20th.
May 20th. Like I said, Fancast Fridays. We're going to try to do them on Fridays for you. They should be a little bit shorter episodes, but a little bit just something that's a little different, fun to mix it up. Something, like I said, if you guys want, get your own list. What we could do actually too is we could tweet out and like put on our Facebook the character list that we're going to do.
Oh,
so if they want to see what we're doing, they can do their own list. Correct. So that way you guys will know who we're casting and what we'll be looking for.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Idea. Way to go.
Cool.
And that being said, we're on many different platforms, guys.
Correct.
We're on YouTube. You guys could check us out on YouTube. I'm going to have this video edited and out within the couple days. So hopefully you guys could watch what we're talking about and see the videos, see our reactions, see us talking, see me getting yelled at for telling you guys spoilers, and it'll be a blast.
Yep. Facebook, same thing. We are on Facebook, and on Twitter, we're at NNWH Pod. That is where you can find us on Twitter for our podcast Twitter. We're available on all of kind of your streaming platforms. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we upload to, basically. So you can find us wherever you kind of look. And if you're just finding us for the first time, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, no nerds were harmed. Pretty much on all socials you can find us at.
Absolutely. And wherever you want to listen to us, I can't say this more, guys. Like, write a review. Let us know if you like us. Give us some stars. Give us some
comments,
thumbs up.
You can even give us critiques, whatever. Yeah. Slide in the DMs, whatever it is. Let us know. Let us know things you want us to cover.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Segments you like, shit you don't like that you want us to, this shit was too long. Stop talking this much about this or that. Yeah. That's fine, dude. We'll do that.
Maddie, stop
Let
giving
us know.
Fucking spoilers.
Talk to us and we will do more of that.
Yeah. So, like I said, write us a review. Give us a thumbs up. Give us stars. If you like us, let us know. If you don't like us, then fuck you. I'm Maddie.
I'm Tyler. Catch you on the next one.